Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Qualified. I'm Jedi Johnson 22. Welcome. Thanks for dropping in. Introducing our panel. His connection is petty, but he's always steady. It's Styx Boy 73. What's going on, Styx? And he doesn't need a map because all roads lead to Fett. It's the great Dom Tober. And watching him show pickups takes so long that some judges use it as a sentence. It's Brucifer. And his comics are good, and they'll often give you wood. It's Joe's Duelin. What's going on, fellas?
Yeah, not much.
Friday could not come fast enough.
Correct.
Everybody loves working for the 3-day weekend.
He's going working for the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Even better with the 3-day
weekend myself too. So thanks to everybody for dropping in. We're going to go through say hello to the chat a little bit. But as folks we'll give them a little bit of time. We want to do pickups or what do you got, Joe?
That sounds wonderful. Well, let's do some pickups.
Yeah. Who want to go first? Go first? Go first? No.
Yeah, I'll get my boring shit out of the way first, and then I'll.
If you got boobies, that boring shit. Come on, man.
Yeah, I wish I had more boobs in mine this week, but I don't. I have very few things this week. Clive Barker, Ecto Kid. It's a weird foiled cover.
Foil cover is like the embossed.
Yeah, it's embossed. It's embossed with foil. And it's spot foil on it, so it's a nice.
Is that still a spec? Because
no, I don't think so. But it was in really nice shape, and it was dirt cheap where I was at, and I was like, oh, I'll throw that in the pile. Got a nice Bolin Judge Dredd.
I am the law.
That's cool. That's very
love Dredd
Conan
covers.
the Barbarian like.
And I always love Brian Bolin. I got a Pathways to Fantasy, Pacific Comics. It's a really nice Barry Windsor Smith cover. So
I got that book.
Yeah, none of these are really worth much, but I just like them for my personal collection. And then I just picked up a little Detective 355. So it's nice. There's some Zatanna in here. So I'm always filling out my Zatanna Silver Age appearances. So
we did have some boobs on this one. You lied to us.
Yeah, yep. And then I did get a little bit of vinyl this week. I got let's see,
Big Hot Rod.
Big Hot Rod. I got some Tom Verlaine, if you're a fan of the band Television. And some Richard Groove Holmes, which is
Ooh, nice.
good album with.
I feel so uncultured. I don't know
some good Hammond organ on this album. So I was in one of those types of places where it's like they have like a handful of really shitty beat to hell comics, and a lot of good vinyl. Oh, I also picked up a Modesty Blaze trade paperback, which I was happy about, and a Clone Wars Volume 2 trade paperback as well. Nice. So I was happy about that. Time I can pick that up, I pick it up. So that is all I've got for this week. Who's next?
I can go.
Bruce always has a stack of stuff.
Yep, might as well. Oh, let's just show vinyl. I'll start with vinyl. My Chemical Romance, Black Parade.
Black Parade, yep. Chemical Romance, I have that CD.
My Chemical Romance, Danger Days. Not a comics. Batman 141.
Nice.
Batman 141, the regular cover, A cover. Fall of House of X, #1. Amazing Spider-Man 41. Yeah. Titans, Beast World, Atlantis. Neil before Zod. Number 1. The Barons.
The Barons, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the art on the inside was as good as the art on the outside of those books.
Shazam number 7.
It's a good Black Adam cover.
Yep. Fall of the House of X. Number 1. Scotty Young.
Too bad Cyclops was on the cover.
Rise of the Powers of X. Scotty Young. Connecting cover. Outsiders. Titans,
And yes,
Beast.
And yes, Bry's asking if people buy vinyl for collectibles or to listen to. I listen to all of mine. I buy mine specifically to listen to.
Titans, Beast World, the Barons, Starfire cover.
I like that a lot. That's really nice. Starfire is I've started to build out my Starfire section of collectibles of covers.
Blue Beetle number 5. Neil before Zod. Titans Beast World number 4, the regular cover. Green Lantern 7. Neil before Zod, the foil.
Ooh, nice. I like the foil one.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's sharp. I like how they put the gold banner border around it. Makes it look sharp and foil.
Batman and Robin, the 1 in 25.
Robin Buggy.
Robin Buggy.
Rip off.
Nope, that came out first. Shazam number 7. Nakayama.
DC's a rip off of Marvel, man. Come on.
Yeah, okay. You believe that? I'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. Birds of Prey, the 1 in 50.
At least we have characters that are freaking relatable. DC. Come on.
Listen, to be able to relate to characters, you actually have to open a book and read it, Dom.
I am reading a book.
Transformers 4.
Stop with the Transformers. I'm a Transformer fan. You're not. Get out of here.
He's Transformer.
What are you talking about? I have every
none of the pictures you like on IG are relatable to you. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey,
that's
come on, Jedi. You're on my side, man.
I used to be.
Oh, you used to be.
Woo! Shots fired. Love you guys.
That all, Bruce?
Yeah, that's all.
You're done? Oh, wow.
Just playing.
Anybody else?
It was a short week.
I can go if you want.
Well, Styx can go and then I'll go unless Don Tober.
Doesn't matter.
What you got, Styx?
So this week, everyone noticed at school that I have been trying to grow out a little bit of a beard, just to be one of the guys on Friday. I picked up some pops this week off of Whatnot. So I got Goofy. I got an Entertainment Earth Mary Jane. I think I had this one, but it was cheap and kind of went with the bundle. And then the anniversary this week, so Batman 66, the Riddler. And I picked myself up a Donald Duck Halloween mummy figure. Pop.
Nice. I know you love your Universal Monsters.
Yeah. I get anything that comes out of the mummy. I'm looking for an Electra one now. There's an Electra one that's with her as a mummy. My last pop, Dom will like. I picked this up. And I'll show you what's in it.
Nice. The
Joe box with
Big Daddy Cool.
Yep. It comes with a lanyard and some other stuff that I won't show, but it's got Pimp Destro in it.
Destro.
Oh,
Director
love Destro.
Destro.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So. And then my last pickup, it's not vinyl, but it's the same size as vinyl.
Oh, Laserdisc.
I got some Laserdisc this week, boys.
Nice.
I
almost picked up Laserdiscs this week as well, even though I don't have a player.
I have a bunch of players, so I picked up some. This is a British sci-fi series called UFO. Only lasted like a season or so. I got volume 1, 2, and 4. They're all the same cover. I just need volume 3, and I'll have a complete set.
Nice.
So that's what I got for this week, and then I have some good stuff to show later.
I almost bought sealed Excalibur Laserdisc, the movie Excalibur.
I've had that. That's a good movie.
It is a good movie. All right. Dom, you got?
Yeah, I got. Here, Brucifer.
Yes.
Transformers 2 with Duke. Transformers 3 with Soundwave. The best Transformer ever right there. The 1 in 25, Soundwave.
I showed that last week.
Yeah. 1 in 50, Duke. 1 in 50, Duke.
Sing.
Yeah.
Tom is back in good graces with his LCS, apparently.
No.
Hobgoblin.
No, he's not.
Star Wars Rebels variants.
Inquisitor.
Nice.
The old black Star Wars cover, which a lot of spine ticks. You can see the spine tick right there, big one right there. Hard to find, man. Revelations that I didn't get. I wound up picking it up. I couldn't find the Jango Fett. I went to one store, everything sold out.
Damn.
The Sith, I got to read this with the new Sith. Don't know if it's man or female. I don't know. Don't care. We'll see what happens.
Could be both.
Justice League Kong 3. Kong Godzilla. Yeah, Jedi for you. Starbay, Queen in Disguise. Action figure variant. John Christopher
sexy.
Tyler. That he has a nice Ventress cover coming out.
So sexy.
I got more. Yeah, see, I opened it already.
What?
No, you didn't.
That's not-
The tape tells a different story, but okay.
It's not stuff you get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't work that out before the show.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I got another 1 in 25. Put that aside.
That means you got a 250.
I have a, this is open.
Yeah. He just look out. He's pulling it.
There you go. Look, here we go.
Such showmanship.
Badass shirt. There we go.
Is that a ladies' lodge?
Nope. You wish it was a lady.
Ladies. Oh, God.
Boba Fett. James Bond. And last but not least, I have a.
It's official.
Hit
Dom
mode.
dresses a 15-year-old.
Yeah,
That's why his arms look so big. He wears like a lady's medium.
Entertainment Earth. Entertainment Earth. You want Funkos? Here we go. Here we go.
That's not
What?
Funko.
I think you're supposed to be getting rid of Funkos.
Hey, go figure. They put a box in a box. I didn't know
That's
that.
a
I opened the one
Brucifer.
box. I got another box.
I don't learn. Jedi.
Yes.
I don't learn.
There you go. There you go. Here you go. A box in a box. Okay.
Oh, Dominic.
There we go. There we go. All right, let's see what we got.
Even when he say he's prepared, he's never prepared.
I'm always prepared, son. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what I do. Just worry about what I say.
That's true.
Here we go.
That's probably the truest
Yeah,
thing.
it's
you've
just
ever
wrong.
said.
Yeah.
There you go. Grand Admiral Thrawn, the new.
Mhm.
There we go. We got that. We got Balin Scroll. There we go. Jedi. There goes your Funko Pop right there.
I didn't get any royalties from that. Must be a
Better call your
bootleg.
lawyer.
It's a
Now only
bootleg.
one. I got two. Here we go. Enox.
Oh.
Got Enox.
You got your whole Soka lineup.
There you go. There we go.
Another
Another
throw.
Tron. And another Enox. There you go. May the force be with you. Also with you. We lift up our hearts. We lift them up to the Lord. Everybody go
Very
fuck
nice. Jedi, since you have something special to talk about, do we want to say hi, do the outside looking in, and then we could do a little extended pickups for you? Because I want to hear those
However
stories.
you want to run it. Let's say hello to the folks. After Brewster's pickup, a lot of these folks may not be with us anymore, but GT posted so many damn near broke YouTube, but he is number one. So congratulations on your continued streak. Tommy Longbox adding the last hand as GT Key forgot. It's a rare mistake by GT, but appreciate fixing that, Tommy. Have a good show. Catch you on the rewind. Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tommy.
19 Cohiba 75 Penthouse Comics in the FOC. If they are, Joe will know all about it.
Oh, yes.
I think Penthouse
Tyson,
too,
good
they're
evening, fellas.
showing
What's
it
going
now,
on,
yeah.
Tyson? I don't know if that's the boss or not, but Bry J. Dom Vito. Don't give him any ideas. Terry, good to have you here with us. Saying, am I saying meh already? Because I know it's coming. I don't know what's coming. Bruce for his pickups. I don't know.
Hey,
I'm just.
I can grab the other pile if you want.
Please no. BK Joe has moose and muskrat skinner folds on his what? Joe has moose and muskrat centerfolds on the screen. I don't know, somebody. Retrail 27. I remember that I never read it through. Well, that's a lot of comics for me. I never finish them. Tyson, I'm forgetting who all we've said hello to. Saggy Boob Action. Yeah, I caught that too. T Jones, Starfire. Appreciate you joining in, T Jones. Help me out, guys, because I remember I got the memory of a goldfish. Yeah, we're getting started. Justin Shea, appreciate you popping in. Man, we waited a long time.
Justin.
We got a lot of people leftovers here.
Hey, Zaggy.
Kyle jumped in. What's going on?
There you go.
All right. Whew.
All right.
Am I not a gentleman?
Yeah. So what I figured we'd do is do the old outside looking in, and then Jedi had attended a nice little con, so I didn't want to shorten his time in the front end. So we'll catch that right after.
Ooh,
That's
I
something.
like that.
Yeah. Extra loud to wake everybody up.
First book on the outside looking in is Swan Songs number 6, the 1 in 50 Morazzo variant. It was about one sale, sold for $100.
I mean,
I've never seen this book.
it's the tail end of the series, and it's a 1 in 50. So I don't know how many stores can even get close to buying 50 copies of the other covers to qualify for this. So there's not that many out there. I thought that the one cover that came out, the open order cover, was a Shel Silverstein homage.
This one is too, I
book.
think, isn't it?
Somewhat, I think. I know the other one was.
The other one is where the
Definitely
sidewalk ends, and
Yeah.
I can't remember this one.
Yeah, I know, they weren't there. I think this was the only one on eBay. They don't come to market that much, I believe.
No.
I was going to say,
they're pretty scarce.
Yeah.
Is this what it takes to make the list? It's getting one sale. I don't understand, but for
$100, it's
formula.
double ratio. So yeah, it's
Yeah. Yeah, this thing looks like you would a magazine you'd find in a very creepy doctor's office. I don't get this. I don't understand this at all. This is not appealing to me in the least. I don't know. It's poems, right? It's supposed to be. It's written in rhyme, if I understand correctly. Or
yeah, it's Marazzo is the one who did Ice Cream Man. So
it's a kid's book. You don't want your. This is weird. I feel like I've said enough. I don't. This is weird.
Marazzo normally does some more off the wall kind of stuff. Like I said, Ice Cream Man was a very interesting anthology. This is something a little different, and that's basically the Ice Cream Man on the cover too. So,
yeah, I'm not a fan of this cover either. Doesn't do anything for me.
No,
I just noticed the little dude in the hat up there. Okay, well, that adds a little something.
Yeah, like I said, it's a little scarce. But when you get one that sells for double ratio, there's not a lot of stuff out there that's coming out that are ratios and stuff like that are selling above ratio. So, that's why it's not on the big list and it's on this list.
So I'm assuming based on the nice round 100 number that this was a buy it now. This was not people bidding on this. Someone saw this, wanted it because whatever reason they bought the others and they said they're completionists, which I get.
Yeah. But, I believe it was. And people like scarcity too. And it's probably one of those ones that's harder to find.
And it's the last issue of a series, so people like that stuff. All right.
Go get
it.
What we got
next up, we have White Widow #1, second print. The 1 in 25 lyrics variant.
Somebody we learned about last week.
Lyrics, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
About one sales, so for $100. That's up.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a significant sale over ratio. I think there's another one listed out there that's pretty expensive as well. I don't know. The whole second print virgin ratios. I don't know. The appeal seems to be wearing off a little bit on them. So you get a few out there, and I don't know how many stores are really ponying up at this point to keep buying a lot of these to pull people in.
Because this is basically just they took the A cover, or I think it was the A cover from the first print, and just threw a different color background. They just different shaded the background on this thing, and that's it.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep.
Correct.
There you go.
And that's what they've been doing with a lot of these.
I'm pretty sure Pete was very reluctant to put this on the list, but I guess he had to. I don't know. Based on the secret formula.
There's not much stuff out there, you kind of there's one or two things you look at, or two things. You're looking at volume. Is it moving heavy volume? And is it selling above, ratio or, well above sale price if it's just an open order book. And truthfully, recently, there has not been a lot that's been doing either of those things.
Except for DC 1 in 25s. Had to throw that in there. Next up, we got Daredevil #9. Direct. There's also a newsstand, guys, if you didn't know that. Yep. There's about 40 more sales than last week. It's nearly $100 for Roars, but a 9.8 price has dropped down to $200. They were $250 last week.
Yeah, so you got your 9.8 slabs trending down a little bit, and then your Raws actually trending up a little bit. The show seems to be received pretty well. So strike while the iron's hot.
This one I get. This one I get. I mean, this is obviously the show dropped, which I just learned right before. I haven't watched it yet. I just learned right before we started streaming tonight that they dropped the whole series all at once, which was okay. That's different but appreciated. And but this is a great cover.
All these David Mack covers are great.
Yeah, it's different from a lot of the other Daredevil stuff that, at least not that I look at a lot of Daredevil. It's not really my scene, but this cover just seems different. It seems unique. I like it.
Yeah, this whole
I'm on board with this one.
This whole run with the David Mack covers were amazing. Daredevil it's such an underrated series because they've had fantastic storylines in a lot of the volumes of Daredevil and had really good art as well. And it, for some reason, always kind of flies under the radar.
Yep.
What do we got next?
Next up, everybody's favorite cover from last week. For the House of X, #1.
Look at them abs.
The 1 in 50 odd term variant. 20 sales this week, but the price have dropped down to $60 to $80. It's on the way
still
down.
above ratio, but
yes, this is why they make the list because it's trending down from last week.
it's still holding above ratio, which is again for second week, not bad. Again, we don't see that often, but people love their Magic covers. People love their Art Germ covers.
I think these 1 in 50s have the same problem most Marvel covers have. There's a trade dress version of it, a regular open order.
I really don't understand why they keep doing that. I'm not a huge fan of Virgin covers because again, I put, if I don't put stuff and organize it in a short box right away, then I got to pull it out of the bag to figure out what exact issue it was sometimes. Because I get the numbers mixed up. You get a month or two of stuff backlog, and you pick it up, and you're like, is this 1 or 2? And you gotta look, and that's a pain. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
But it's still doing well.
Good.
Yeah, if it's anything that's above ratio, you got to tip your hat to.
Yeah, especially 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks, yeah. So it's got some staying power. I mean, it's definitely Art Germ. Art Germ is. I mean, people are attracted. He has an appeal that people are attracted to, and I can see it. It's a nice cover. Like I said, probably obviously better without the trade dress. Hell, I don't know where you put trade dress on that unless it's a minimal trade dress. But anyway,
Did they have it at the bottom? I'm trying to remember whether the trade dress was on. I think the trade dress was.
I guess that's about the only spot I could.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice cover. Yeah, 1 in 50 at that. So
yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if it holds for a third week and holds above ratio.
Why package?
What?
Look at the bottom.
What the hell, Dom?
So there's just muscles that go all the way down. I mean, look at those abs. That core could crush watermelons.
Somebody explain the anatomy of women to Dom.
I don't know. Either that's the biggest moose toe going.
Oh my!
It looks like a package.
It's a camel toe.
Camel toe, moose toe.
Dom's been quiet the whole segment. Chime in on
there's no moose knuckle there at all. Let's move on.
Jeez, move on. We got the hood #1.
Now this.
All of a dozen sales between $18 and $40. There weren't many because the news was
It
just dropped that he's becoming the new Ghost Rider, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go,
The
Jedi.
news dropped. Well, Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh,
Spirit
Spirit
of
of Vengeance.
Vengeance. So you basically have, and the news came out yesterday at some point. So the sales will be catching up, and I'm sure they'll quickly start jumping up soon, in volume and probably in price. But this book has been on spec lists for quite a while, wasn't this?
Well, the reason why Lionheart, because he's supposed to show up in Lionheart.
Ironheart.
Ironheart.
Yeah, not like Ironheart. I mean, yeah, Ironheart.
I was
He's
like,
the main
that
villain.
Van Damme movie?
No, he's in the main villain.
Yeah.
And supposedly, of course, Mephisto was supposed to make his triumphant
Mephisto
return on the series.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Vaughn book. Vaughn writes good books. But like I said, this thing has had different spec cycles based on different spec.
Were there different prints for this? This cover seems perfect to have like if this was a Darth Vader cover from like 2015, you'd have the red, then you'd have the green, then you'd.
I don't believe there were any prints. I don't think there was.
It just seems like the perfect cover for that.
I think that was the only cover for it, but I could be wrong.
An opportunity.
Yeah, it wasn't a major series when it came out, but it's I don't know. I like that Marvel Max line that they did. It was a little more mature. So That you're probably going to be seeing this one splattered all over the interwebs next week in terms of pop book.
I actually like his character showing up when they had the Dark Reign storyline. He was trying to be a crime boss and all stuff like that, and he was like all over the places in all the books, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, his character they don't use too much, just so it's
Parker Robbins.
It is nice to see him use this character. So,
and that is outside looking in for this week.
That's what we got. And yes, it is nice to see that they are doing something with some of these characters that they have sitting out there that people kind of liked, and they're finally going to get to use. So,
yep. And they're doing all the street level characters now, which is really cool. So,
yeah, it is nice. All right, let's get you up there, Jedi, because I wanted you to talk about your fun con experience.
Before I talk about the con, I did get a couple of things in. I knew this was coming. This is the glow in the dark Jenny Frizz.
Oh, nice. I like the glow in the dark one.
Here. Yeah.
That's you, Jedi.
Zerdy Action Comics.
Good man.
Zerdy Kneel Before Zod.
Look at this guy buying DC books.
It's buying Zerdy books. They happen
I had a couple
to
of
be
these
DC.
last week. But apparently, I got another Harley Quinn, black, white, and red. All right, let me throw. So I did go to a. What's the best way to do this? Like that, maybe? Oh, God. Yeah, I guess so. I did go to a con. It was the Hawaii had a pop con. I'm pretty bad at taking pictures, so this is what it is. We had there were some mainly anime. Here, let me blow this up.
There you go.
There we go. I'll just do it this way for now. So they did have some anime, like they had the guy that was the original singer for the Pokemon. Pokemon. Yeah, that guy.
I want to be the very best.
Yeah, Jason Page. I did not take advantage of the opportunity to.
He has to travel and carry that banner with him.
Master.
That's all I gotta say.
Right. PSA was there. So, and then CGC was there, and then I got to meet these guys. These guys are. Boba Fett was there. I told him his dad could jump in the picture, and then all these Spider-Man kind of came out of the woodworks, and they were just everyone was there suddenly. So they call themselves the 21st. They give me some stickers. They call themselves the 21st Brigade or something. And their IG is under the helmet, but there's so many under the helmets on IG. I tried to find them, and I had no luck at all.
Sounds dirty.
Anyway, I'll probably run into them again because they're a local bunch. So they were cool. Let me take a couple of pictures with them. And I knew Dom would be extremely jealous that I actually got that close to Boba Fett.
Yeah. I'm extremely jealous of that. Boba Fett got extremely close to you.
Yeah.
I think as you can see. Boba Fett is a shadow of myself, so I think he was a little intimidated by me, but I
spent a few extra weeks in the back to tank.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry, I don't bite. So take it easy.
All right, so Balin, so
yeah, I had to told him I was incognito, but I was really a Jedi Master. So take it easy.
Oh, jeez. That you were a Sith Lord.
So while I was there were a couple of people. Bob McLeod was there, who I did not get Bob McLeod to sign anything. He did a lot of the cover work for New Mutants and stuff. I really went there unprepared because another person that was there was Steve Englehart. Everybody knows Steve Englehart.
Yay!
Good friend of the channel.
Good friend of the channel. Yeah.
Sure.
So right next to Bob McLeod was Steve Englehart. So I approached him. I did not tell him who I was or what channel I was affiliated with. Even though Pete wanted me to, I was like, no, man, I'm not going to do that. My wife is with me. I don't want him I don't want him throwing the table at me in front of my
Very
wife
good.
and starts pounding me in the face. So I did not tell him my affiliation. But aside from that, he was a super nice guy, and I think the guys on SNS know this, that they kind of missed an opportunity to have it was an honest mistake, but they kind of missed an opportunity to have a really great conversation.
Yes.
He told me we really did not talk about comics very much at all, probably because he realized after about 30 seconds that this guy doesn't know a lot. He knows a little something about Star Wars, but he don't know a lot about. So we talked for about 20 minutes. Though I was there on a Sunday, and it wasn't very crowded, and it was he was a super nice guy. I'll just say that right up front. Super nice guy. I know we tease him a lot and stuff like that. Super nice guy. He talked
Had
about
we
his
known
time
who
in
he
Hawaii.
was, we wouldn't have.
He asked me what I did. I told him I used to be in the Navy, and then he was like asking me about my Navy experience and what we talked for a while. We talked long enough that my wife was getting bored and ready to go. So, but I did get him to sign a couple of things. I was kind of unprepared, to be honest with you. So there were two cons. There was a con supposed to be in February here, but it got pushed to November. I thought that was the con that he was going to be at. So I really went to this con not expecting to see him. So when I saw him, I was kind of in a scramble. I got to get something for him to sign. So I went around a couple of the other tables and found some of his work. And so I bought a couple of comics for him to sign. One of the comics, this is West Coast Avengers 28, that he wrote this. And of course, and by the way, he has a really good signature. I give a lot of props to people that actually sign books properly.
Yeah, I like being able to read the signature.
I also like when somebody. Did you tell him where to sign it, or did you just?
No, he actually looked at it because he knew. I talked to him before, and then I'm like, "Hey, I'm really not prepared. I'm going to go find something." So he's like, "Okay, yeah, come back, please." And so when I brought this back, he goes, "Oh crap! You probably got the worst thing for me to sign because I can't."
Of course.
And then he goes, "I'm going to sign it here," and I was like, "Well, that's perfect. I think that's really just the perfect place to sign."
That's a good spot, right?
I
there.
appreciate those guys that think about where to sign a book. Sometimes they'll just slap that signature on anywhere on the book.
What he should have did was sign the book. I'm the Gimp, and you're not.
Oh, jeez.
Somebody
put Dom in the corner.
I would have loved to have been there to get a Avengers 144 signed.
So the other thing, he had some stuff out on his table to sign, some prints that he had done. Obviously, he's not an artist; he's the writer. So he had some prints of some of the books that he had written. So I bought obviously Vampirella, which I didn't even know that he had written any Vampirella. This is Vampirella 21 from the 1969 run.
Wow,
nice.
So this was cool. And I said, I'm going to get this, and he signed it for me. So the interesting thing, so he actually told me a little story about this, that he was actually hired to, I think, write 4 issues or 4 short stories, or however they did it for this. But this was back in the days before email and computers and all this the internet. So he said he mailed the 4th story into who was it? Who did the original run of this? Anyway,
Harris Comics.
Harris, is it Harris? Okay, so he mailed whoever it was. He mailed the story in, and it got lost in the mail.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So he said he was a young writer at the time. This would have been like 72. He was a young writer, and he said he learned a valuable lesson to make copies of stuff that he mailed in, because he mailed it in and it got lost and it was gone. Once it got lost in the mail, it was gone. He didn't have any copies, and so I guess that final story never made it to publish, he said. But interesting. I thought that was an interesting story. Like I said, really nice guy. Pleasure to talk to him for a little bit. But yeah, I had to meet him based on the
channel lore
experience.
Yeah,
his past experience with our channel.
Based on the last time we saw him.
Sit around the campfire, kids, and I'll tell you the story of the Gimp.
Yeah, asking him about his.
He was a really
growing up in
really
Indiana,
cool
where he's not from.
he was a nice guy. I'm not gonna say he was a cool cool dude would be like Greg Horn or somebody would be like a cool dude. He was just a very nice guy. Take the time and sit there and talk to me like he did. Really nice. So appreciated that.
That's always good. Yeah, it's good. It's nice to see those guys willing to
Damn, man.
chat
Those
with
guys-
everybody and take some time.
Those guys on SNS, man,
Yeah.
you know, messed up. Yes.
It was an honest mistake. I mean,
Yeah.
I believe that. You know,
Yeah,
it was an
that-
honest
that-
mistake. It was a
man.
missed opportunity, though.
Hey, I mean, if anyone had known what the guy looks like, I mean, you tend to know what some of the artists look like sometimes, but even some of the older artists, if they haven't done anything for a while, people change when they age too. They look a little different. And when it's a writer, half the time you're like, well, I know the name, but they
And sometimes you don't know the face. You never see the face.
Yeah. So missed opportunity, but we got some Renovision redemption there.
Hey, the man behind the mask and behind the curtain.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah,
good
Jedi,
stuff.
you see?
Ooh,
He did a good deed. No good deed goes unpunished. There you go.
that's good stuff. It's good stuff.
He doesn't know. Again, he doesn't have a clue who I am or who I'm affiliated
Hey.
with.
Hey,
But
it's
it was
nice to
fun.
see. It's good. How else was the con?
Well, there's a lot of anime, a lot of voice actors were there, a lot of people I had no idea who they were. Again, my wife was with me, and one thing I've learned from going to cons with my wife is it's a little bit of a delicate balance. You don't want to spend too much time there, or else she's probably not going to want to come to anymore. And I do enjoy doing things with my wife, so it's a delicate balance. Usually an hour or two, 3 tops, and I'm like, okay, she's bored out of her skull by now. I gotta
Listen,
It's like me with my kids.
go find her someplace to eat. I gotta feed her.
you know, same thing with my wife. My wife goes, she likes to go, but not all the time. But check out the guest list in MegaCon in Florida. Holy shit. That is going to be something. Star Wars, you got friggin' Tamira Morrison, you got Ming Na, you got Rosario Dawson, I think. You got, what's his name, from Jedi Survivor? The guy who played friggin' Cal Kestis. He's going to be there. A shitload. I want to go, but can't.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't want to go. She's like,
That's a
fun.
I was probably, aside from being just unprepared to meet Steve Englehart, I was also unprepared because if I'd known PSA was there, I was going to take some football cards in to get them graded. And so I completely missed the football on that one too. So, oh well, next time.
I have cards laying around all over the
Come on,
place.
Jedi, you got to be prepared.
I'll never get them graded.
Yeah,
I'll never do anything with them other than shove them in a box somewhere.
You got to stalk to see who's there. So you have to make sure go on the website and stalk.
What?
Scroll, see who's there. And
stock. No, that's stock.
No.
Crucifer.
Oh.
I will not be silent, sir. I will not.
All right, let's get into a little comic now and later. Let's take a look at 3 comics that came out this week and 3 that are coming out in the future. And there's 1 bonus Valentine's exclusive kicker in here as well.
You can tell it's gonna be boobies.
So this week I was tit light this week. The Zorro Man of the Dead, the Bermejo cover is one of Bermejo's best covers. It's a badass Zorro cover.
On a motorcycle.
So if you're a fan of Bermejo from his Batman work and stuff like that, this is definitely a winner. It's a really sharp cover. Action Comics 161 starts the Aaron run. We got a Bizarro storyline. So I love Bizarro covers. I love the character, and the comic itself was a very good read. So it's just a cool.
Yes, it was.
It's a cool Chris Bacala. And Chris Bacala's been killing it lately too with covers. I just really love this Bizarro cover.
Even though I appreciate the what the artist here did, making the Z out of the city lights, or I assume they're not on fire. Maybe they're on fire. I don't know. I can't help but be a little like only one comic book hero belongs on a motorcycle, and it's not Zorro. I'm a little
Yeah,
biased.
Evil
there,
Knievel.
but
Who?
Evil Knievel.
Knievel.
Nailed it.
Who? Friggin' Long Ranger?
You're dancing around it, but
Did you
nobody
say the
got it.
Long Ranger?
The Long Ranger.
Jeez, what movie were you watching?
I mean,
Long
in
Ranger, long pants.
he looks like he's a little more on more of an off-road bike than
It's
a
not a
big
dirt
chopper.
bike. Yeah,
Dirt bike.
definitely.
Yeah, it's a dirt bike.
So we can give Zorro a pass for his dirt bike.
I guess.
Like I
They're
said,
big
if you see that cover in person, it is a sharp cover. Bermejo
But
has
you gotta
been
see.
on point.
Friggin' what's his face? Zorro the Gay Blaze. That was a great movie.
Needs more foil.
Sorry.
Yeah.
More foil.
Needs more cowbell.
Yes, and the Zorro, there was a Kickstarter as well. So I'm waiting for that to come because there is a Hughes Lady Rawhide cover with the Kickstarter. So
Really?
that's what I'm waiting for.
I agree, Bri.
And last on the list, this is a Under the Radar series. Issue 2 came out, Bloodrick 2. It's a kind of a Conan-esque type thing, but it's very sparsely worded. It's very uniquely drawn. And it's a fun series. I've been enjoying that a lot. So I'm picking up every copy of that. And again, it's an image book, so it's cheap. It's not, none of these were ratios or anything crazy like that. So you can find them all reasonably priced. They're all good reads. In the future, most of these are books that are coming out in March. This Philadelphia 35, Jason Alexander cover, is fantastic. Philadelphia always has some killer covers.
Isn't that Blackula?
Well, Philadelphia is a vampire
Vampire
series in general.
Yeah.
Vampire Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy. Who knows?
God, no.
It's like you read the comic, Dom. You nailed it.
Yeah, let's have
the comic. Don't go too far.
But it's a damn cool cover, and I thought it was pretty cool. Spider-Boy 5 has a really cool Ramos cover.
I just noticed something about Spider-Boy that I guess I've never noticed. But does he really, and I've never read any of the Spider-Boy stuff, does he really have all them eyes, or is that just his costume?
Really have all
Sometimes.
those eyes.
That's creepy shit.
He's
Okay.
got those eyes and the teeth. So he's
That's
actually
some nightmare
a
shit
real
right there.
spider.
Yeah.
And there's secrets that we don't know yet.
He likes
Yeah,
to
the-
go around biting people.
Yeah, the other character that's stepping on him is an elephant type
He's an elephant.
character
I know,
that's
but you
being
know what?
introduced. So
Also, he likes eating ass. Spider Boy. So
Dude. Dude.
well, that's something. And last on the list is people can say what they want about Lady Death every now and then. Lady Death has some amazing covers. Imperial Requiem 1. This is a Colette Turner black metal variant. There's, I think, about 70 covers for this Lady Death. But I just really like, there's a color version of this Colette Turner one as well, but the black and white is just really, really
Black
sharp.
and white
It's just
looks
a really
nice,
great cover.
I
and
have
with the metal,
a,
it's sharp.
I have one of those. I don't know exactly what they're called. Those, like those Hawaiian, like swords, right? They're like she's holding. It's like a paddle, but then it's got like, at least the ones here. The one I
Yeah.
have is more decorative, but it's got like shark teeth around it to give it an edge
Mhm.
all around it. I have, man, if I know, I'll show it if I know you're gonna have this on there. Like mine is kind of decorative, but that son of a bitch is deadly if you swing it. I mean, that's
Can you dress like that and then bring the sword? And we'll get a full screen
not
picture.
anymore. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
10 years ago.
yeah, true.
All right, and my one bonus this week, it's an homage cover. It's an exclusive Archie's Valentine Spectacular variant. It's a Laura Braga cover, which is an homage to Betty and Veronica 40, which is one of my favorite Betty and Veronica covers. So I like the old school homages to the old covers. So this was a pretty good one. So I was happy. So
Mousetrap.
that's my Valentine Day special there, in terms of a fun, wholesome cover.
Is she doing aerobics in high heels? Nice.
No, she has tenors.
No, those are high
oh yes,
stop
Veronica
it.
is.
Stop. Thank you.
Veronica is.
Oh,
She is. She's definitely.
You almost ruined it for me. Yeah.
Veronica has the high heels, yes, but Betty, no.
Yeah.
Betty's in flats. That's why I've always been a Veronica fan.
That's hot.
Yeah. No, Laura Braga
So you
does some
don't
great
like
covers.
flats? That's why you like Veronica better?
Yep.
No.
Veronica knows how to.
Now we know you're
Veronica does that little extra something. She knows how to work it. Just a little extra something.
She's a little not as wholesome as Betty. That makes me happy. Well, that's what we got for the week. So instead of news, we're going to start dropping a new kind of segment, just called a little off the top, where we just kind of pick some random topics to bullshit about for a little bit, and see where it goes. Just some fun things of either news stories or topics in general, or something topical to bullshit about. So first on the list, first submitted a interesting discussion point of the SAG-AFTRA strike, and was it a good deal for the actors, or was it not a good deal? So I will let you take this one, Bruce.
This week, it was revealed that SAG-AFTRA agreed to let the actors use their voices for AI work in video games and other stuff that can video games and some movie spots and mostly games. I think it's a little weird to have voice actors AI voiced in video games. That's just me, because sooner or later it'll turn into AI video gaming, and instead of just being creative.
Of course, the Terminator is going to happen. Of course, things are happening.
Can you clarify something though for me? So was the deal that the voice actors could now also do video games, or were they not allowed to do that before? They could only do voice acting for movies?
They can. They were allowed to use. They were allowed to do video games before the strike. This is just another way for the studios to make money off of the actors.
Right.
Now,
so in other words, is this
you have to agree to it, though?
Use AI the studios can use AI to duplicate, or they can use their voice for AI in the future.
Yes.
Is that
instead of hiring new voice actors, say they like Morgan Freeman. They can keep using his voice even after he passes. They'll just keep making AI stuff.
Is that an agreement that Morgan would have to agree to, or his family in the event of his passing, or is this just a group thing that the I can't think of the word now.
Well, I'm assuming the union agreed to the union members agreed to this. They wouldn't have made this deal without the union members voting on it. So,
but I still think it's individualized, right?
If I had a famous voice and I was a member of the union, but I was dead set against this, the union could say, well, we don't give a shit what you think. They haven't released all the details on the deal yet, so it's just a wait and see. But I don't think you sign away your rights.
No, but
I think you have to agree to it.
I think the idea is that the union has said that voice actors, can offer up like their voices. It's not like you have to do this. Like they can go to a studio and say, or the studio can come and say, hey, we'd like to use your voice. There's a contract saying we want to use your voice. You'll come in, you'll do whatever and then from that on we'll replicate from that.
I mean, to me, as long as the person agrees to it and signs a contract saying they're okay with it, then I don't understand what the
Yeah,
what the deal is.
So many of the actors were against AI altogether during the strike. But again, it's something you have to agree to.
If they keep using AI voices of actors that are either deceased or the same actors over and over, new voice actors won't get hired.
Okay, I see that. I can see that.
Yeah, but people like to hear James Earl Jones. They don't like to hear, Joey Sixpack all the time.
Right, but the one thing you got to remember, Bruce, is that actor would have to have a contract with the company.
Yes.
If they don't, they can't use it. It's not like a contract open-ended for anybody to use.
Correct. And this also leads into there was a special done this past week with a now deceased actor, Jedi.
So yeah, this is what I wanted to bring to the table this week was I guess this all started, I think it was a podcast or someone or something that used AI to generate George Carlin's comedy using AI gathering and duplication, things like this. A lot of people, including our own Pete Renovision, are very much against doing stuff like this. I can understand why. George Carlin's daughter was I don't know if she was upset about this, but she was not happy with it, or she was against it, I guess, saying that, this is not her father's voice. This is not her father's comedy. This is an AI rendering of this. It's not the true product. All of which is completely true,
right?
Even though it sounds like her father. But this brings a lot of problems when you start introducing AI. To me, this is different than AI Elvis that we heard about a couple of weeks ago, where Elvis just gets up there and sings songs.
It's fine if it's fat Elvis. Huh? It's fine if it's fat Elvis. I don't want skinny Elvis.
Well, I mean,
I only want fat AI Elvis.
You want Elvis
This would be George Carlin getting up there and doing new comedy based on George Carlin's past comedy. But if you've ever seen some of George Carlin's past comedy, some of it's a little frictional with the way things are today. He doesn't necessarily agree with the way things in the world work today and the tampering and things like that a lot of things that goes on. But if you have AI, especially AI that is tainted, I'll use the word tainted because that it's influenced by other people's ideals and things, it can influence his comedy to where it's really not George Carlin's comedy. And if it's good enough, down the road, 6 months, when people have forgotten about it, people can pull up an audio track of something that they actually think is George Carlin making a statement, and it's not George Carlin, but it's getting attributed to George Carlin.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problems.
It's dangerous, and
yeah, I have no problems if greedy members of the estate, a couple generations down, want to cash in on their relative if they own rights to the estate of a famous person. That's their choice, but there should be some type of intellectual property for protections for this stuff, because you can't call everything parody or something like that and get away with everything. There has to be a certain line there.
And I think they have to go into this with the full knowledge that once they sell away these rights, that they really have no control of it. Cough, cough, George Lucas and Star Wars. They really have no control over what happens to that going forward. Now, I did say, as I actually, I wanted to do more than just read the headline and come in here to the barbershop talking about this. So I did watch a couple of videos. One of the things I think they can do with AI that Jedi would love, and I actually had never dreamed of them doing this, but they are doing it, and to me, it is completely cool. When a lot of times when I watch a movie, a foreign movie, I don't like to read, so I prefer it be dubbed. But a lot of times, the way if the
I don't go
English
to a movie to read a
audio,
book.
I understand English. If the English audio doesn't match the lip moving of the character, then it's a little off-putting. It's a little distracting. But what can do is they can use AI to go over and my word, not theirs, kind of relay a lot of these footage and actually change the lip movements and the spatial features of the characters speaking to where when they're now being dubbed in English, it actually looks like their face and their lips are talking in English. Or if it's being dubbed in Korean or Japanese or whatever, same thing. They can actually manipulate. Now, I actually think that's pretty cool. It eliminates a distraction, at least for Jedi here. And what do you guys think of that? I think that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, get on
it, Silicon Valley.
One thing about this is what a lot of people don't get about AI. AI doesn't create anything. It borrows and takes from past experiences, material. So who's to say that this AI of George Carlin won't dig up jokes from other comedians and use it?
It's not necessarily. I mean, it does create to a certain extent because it's machine based learning. It'll create something unique based on whatever it's learning.
Well, there's a lot of lawsuits with artists and
art is a little bit different, but written word is with art, I understand things can be pulled from certain references and things like that. It's a little easier to show that.
That's why
writing it's another thing.
That's why it's so easy for them to detect it in colleges and schools when people use AI to write papers.
Oh, it's not easy to detect
because it's not pulling from other people's work still.
It's not as easy to detect anymore. You can run it through several times and reword it and things like that, where it's basically it's not pulling large sets. Early on, the amount that it had as a learning set was far smaller. But if you open something up for AI to have a larger learning set, you will get far more complex things, and it will not come out like something plagiarized.
Yeah. The problem with AI, it's not regulated. It needs to be regulated. It needs to be set of rules. What can be done and what can't be done with it.
I don't know.
Thank you, comrade Morningstar.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree. Regulating scares me, and anytime I hear the word regulated, I get a little like,
There needs to be rules. The problem is it's not understood enough by the people in terms of what it can do, what it can't do, what the shutoff valve is.
Well, it can't be.
Is a shutoff valve for it.
It can't be left to run rampant without any regulations and rules. It has to.
No, there have to be guardrails.
James Earl Jones, Darth Vader for the rest of millennia. I don't care.
No, there should be guardrails. It's just a matter of
what I mean by regulated is the people that are going to do the regulating are the people in our government who don't understand 10% of technology nowadays. So that's a little scary.
You see
when they're the ones that are going to be regulating it.
Come up Instagram like they do with Star Wars and fantasy AI. It's amazing some of the shit that it's making.
Yeah, some of the trailers that have been rendered via AI they've looked Rebel.
Did you see that sci-fi thing they did? It was like a sci-fi all generated by AI. It was like a trailer, and that shit looked better than the motion picture that they put out now.
One of the things they said that there's an AI show. It's we'll call it an homage to Seinfeld, but there's an AI Seinfeld parody out there or something, and it's been running for like 3 months or maybe 6 months, but it's running 24/7. It never stops, so you can tune into this thing any time of the day or night, and this parody of Seinfeld is running.
Well,
you can see what they're up to. They say this thing already has more program hours and maybe it's 3 to 6 months than Parks and Recreation and a couple of other series combined. This thing has just been, because it just never stops. So
AI,
and it's completely AI. Everything from the voice to the writing to the imaging, it's all AI.
See, me personally, I think they should do AI animation cartoons. You get some really good stuff with AI, like do Transformers, G.I. Joe, AI.
There have been AI music videos which have been done with that. It's AI animation through the music videos, which are cool. The thing just renders and renders and renders. It's not, the music is by artists, regular artists, but the AI generated is really cool animation. And I agree with Terry Floyd. I want an AI Fatty Arbuckle. That would make me happy. He needs his second act.
Hey, what about it, Kevin Conroy? Do Batman again? You know, you have the voice Batman. Come on, you know.
If they're going to do AI of Elvis, and we already know they're doing AI of Kiss, but if they're going to do AI of Elvis and eventually do the Doors or whoever, it needs to be complete with like slurring the lyrics and like passing out and fainting on stage and like throwing. Just give us the entire experience. Don't make it perfect. Make it real. Make it like getting up there and just like drunk, like give us.
In theory, a proper AI would properly trained on the proper data set and inputs would give you something as close to that as possible.
What else we got?
Next on the list, since Echo just dropped, just quickly, do you think a darker Marvel can revive the MCU? Because up to now, we've had pretty light
PG-13 stuff.
Yeah. And Marvel seems willing, saying now that, all the Netflix stuff is canon. And you got Echo, which is darker. Granted, Deadpool's going to be funny, but you're going to get something R-rated. Can a darker, more adult Marvel kind of revive the MCU a bit?
If you think about this, DC with their animation is a little bit darker than, because DC movies are a little darker than the other Marvel movies, but like the animation is darker than Marvel live action and animation. So a little darker in Marvel could help the brand a little bit if they push it.
Well, I think
that's a good thing.
I really think it is.
It does. But isn't Disney Plus's MCU kind of playing catch up with Netflix MCU now? Because Daredevil, their series, Luke Cage, those were dark. Those were violent. Those were violent, bloody series. So
and overall, most of them were good. They were just too goddamn long. You didn't need to have like an 18 episode season. It was
actually 13.
It felt
it was long
forever. There was a lot of filler in there, and they could have slimmed it down. So I'm hoping the Marvel spotlight will be a little more gritty. And this doesn't have to be all of Marvel. Every Marvel
street level characters.
Yeah,
just darker.
I mean, I think they just need a different tone, not for everything, but for some things. And to me, everything I see from them, movie wise and show wise, has felt the same. It has the same tone. I know the stories are all different, stuff like that, but a lot of outside of maybe Loki, I thought Loki felt a lot more polished.
You can have a darker MCU, and like part of MCU and mention say you have Daredevil, and Daredevil is mature audiences because the way it is, you could throw a character like the first draft, actually the first couple episodes of the Daredevil Born Again that was scrapped because they're going to redo it. Winter Soldier was supposed to be in it, and so the Winter Soldier movie, which was one of the best Marvel movies that I love, it's up there. That movie is up there with Endgame and Infinity War, in my opinion, as the best Marvel movies. But you could have the character darker in the darker MCU, and maybe when they put him someplace else, it could be a little lighter. But the fact is, the darkness is there. Like Punisher, you could put Punisher in a Disney Plus show, he can still be violent, but not as violent that he would have all access, all go in a regular MCU spotlight. So, I think it's going to work, and I think it is getting a grittier Marvel, and I'm really happy that the street level characters are going to shine. And I'm tired of the freaking space shit and the freaking going to planets and stuff like that. I want Earth-based shit.
Isn't that Star Wars?
No,
I'm fine with it.
Different franchise.
I mean, what they're doing is what they're doing, and that's fine. I don't feel they need to go completely away and just move everything in a different direction. I just think they should branch out a little bit and have different
have the horror aspect, the action aspect, the street level, and you can have the space stuff here and there, but split it up, make different things, and then you can have the interconnecting, like the horror stuff can
save the westerns. Save the westerns for DC there, BK.
You can have the horror fall into the street level stuff because Werewolf by Night, the Moon Knight stuff, all that stuff is gonna intertwine, which is gonna be good. And that's if Disney stays on that path. You'll have people complaining with anything anyway. So no matter what you do.
Well, by the time you get horror and any other type of genres from Marvel, it'll be like 2030 because they're playing catch up because of the strikes and all the firings and recasting and rewrites.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how Echo works out. I'll be interested to see how the
who saw the Echo
ratings
yet?
I've been waiting this weekend to watch it all.
This weekend, I think.
I'm 2 episodes in.
The funny thing is that, of course, I watch a lot of the negative.
Did you watch it, Dom?
I didn't watch it yet. I gotta watch it. No, I want to watch it. This is still on top of my list. I gotta get a chance. I'm off.
I was busy watching the Ted series, which is pretty funny.
So, but people are giving it like a 7 out of 10. There's some people giving it 8. There's some people said it sucked. But you know what? It's not going to suck because Wilson Fisk.
We have our own in-house review here from Matt. Echo was okay.
So it was okay.
That's all I want. I don't need earth shattering. Just give me something. Just give me something to fill a weekend. That I can just binge and watch.
Dave earlier said that it was amazing for him. So it's a wide spectrum.
Typical MCU Marvel reviews. It just varies completely.
Yeah, I mean, here we go now. So Kyle feels it's garbage, and Matt feels it's okay. Maybe we'll meet somewhere in the middle there of okay garbage. But like I said,
that makes it watchable.
Like I don't think I'm ever going to watch a Marvel
so
thing.
It's White Castle. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
White Castle. Belly bombers.
A lot of those little guys. I don't think I'm going to watch anything Marvel and end up saying it's amazing because it takes a lot to be amazing. That word is overused quite often.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm excited to just watch it and have something to watch for a weekend that's a little bit darker. So I mean, everything seems to run the table. So I guess it's one of those things. If you're going to watch it, you're either going to like it or not like it, and that is what it is.
You know why? The reason why I think people not like an Echo because a lot of people don't know who friggin' Echo is, even though she was in the Hawkeye series. People who never read the comics in the 90s,
90s.
They don't know. Well, no,
2000s.
Echo came in the 80s. Echo came in the 90s.
2000s.
2000, late 90s, 2000s, right? Because what did the David Mack cover?
2008, 2007, something like that.
See, nobody knows who that is, basically, if you really think about it. So that's the reason why it's probably didn't get the reviews that the good reviews that it should have. If it was Daredevil off the bat, people would probably say that's pretty damn awesome. 8.10. 9.10, depending on
8.10. That's a thing.
No, I'm saying that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm happy. I think the idea of a Marvel spotlight of give us some, just like comics. I like miniseries comics. I don't like full titles. I don't like crossovers. I don't like any of that bullshit. Give me
More
a 4 to 5 issue story arc. Give me a 4 to 5 episode story that's self-contained, that's not going to just be a big trailer for the next thing you're going to do, which is what half that shit is. That's what half of Star Wars is most of the time. It's you get into it and it ends up being a big trailer for whatever they're going to do next versus actually really going anywhere with the story.
Give some animated stuff, man. So Marvel should get back to the animated stuff. And you know the What If cartoon, that animation's awesome. Make other shows with that type of animation.
Well, aren't they doing that? Aren't they doing the X-Men 94 or whatever?
Yeah, 97. They ain't doing like that. It's like the animation's not gonna be like that.
They're doing it.
No, they have that, but I'm talking about like more street level stuff. Make it darker. Have like this, like have like gang war and friggin' dark rain.
I like the idea. Give me, like I said, give me 4 to 6 episode story arcs of a self-contained story. You can use characters that, like Echo, that people aren't overly familiar with, and you can pepper in other characters. It can all be in the same universe, but things don't all have to be part of the same story. Yeah. You know, different things happen in different parts of the world that aren't all interconnected. So, you know. So, all right. Next story. Jedi brought this one up to me, so I'm gonna let Jedi talk about the initial story, and then we'll get into it because I find it an interesting topic.
I don't know. I just saw this on the news today, and I just thought it would be interesting to get
there's a city in China, right?
Everyone in the panel's comments, as well as maybe some of the viewers' comments. So, on the news today, there's a video clip of a food delivery person. For what service they work for, Uber Eats, Grubhub, I have no idea. Probably for the purpose of this discussion, it really doesn't matter. But this person, a lot of these, just about all of them, really have these things built into when you check out of the app. When you order your food and you check out, you give the tip first. So basically, you're tipping before the service is basically what's happening here. So this one lady didn't do that. She didn't give a tip. And then when the lady showed up to deliver her food, she was very upset to the point to where she actually put a card in the food order, which I didn't think you were allowed to do that. Most times those bags are sealed. But anyway, she put a card in the food order, even though the lady that did the order had every intention of tipping her on site as she delivered it. She had already put this card in there, so she had to play her hand at that point, and basically said, I've already put a card in there. I don't want your money now. You really should tip people, blah, blah, blah. And basically when the lady read the card, all this was captured on her porch cam. When the lady read the card, it basically said something to the effect of, you should really tip people. This time I did not do anything to your food. But in the future, someone might do something to your food. It's always a good idea to tip. So basically, these apps now are holding people at ransom, basically, with the threat of, if you don't tip, they're basically giving you these unspoken threats of, hey, I might spit in your food, or I might dirty dick your food in some way. So
yeah,
a lot of them do these things where. Like Uber has it right. I mean, Uber, you get the service, and then they'll send you a text or something with a link to where you can go in and give a tip based on the service that you were rendered. But most of the apps don't do that. I don't know if any of the food apps that do that. So anyway, I thought I'd bring that up. It makes a pretty good conversation. Maybe. What's your opinion?
I blame it on all you cocksuckers paying with credit cards all the time. One should pay in cash or gold dust. Those are the two acceptable forms of settling a transaction.
Joe cuts his pennies. Joe cuts his nickels into one fist.
But everybody wants the convenience of paying with a card. So everything is paying up front with a card. I mean, and everything asks you for a tip. Everything. You can go into places that are completely automated. I think the Amazon store, where you go in and there's like nobody works there. You just go get the stuff, you check out. There's no cashiers, there's no nothing. And it asks if you want to give a tip.
To who?
Exactly. There's no service being right. Everything asks you for a tip everywhere. I mean, on all of these fast food, all the fast food restaurants have and stuff like that. I'm a 20%er. I am a straightforward. I go to a restaurant. My minimum tip is a 20%. That's where I start. If your service is better than that, I give more.
Yeah.
So on things like this, I'll always start out at a certain point. But it's hard.
I'm the same way. I'm kind of a minimal 20%er, and if my cup is never empty and you're giving me refills, you can expect a pretty good tip. That's the way I look at it. You keep my drink filled, you're going to get a great tip from me. But I guess my point is, with these apps, the technology is there because Uber does it. Why are they forcing us to tip before service is rendered? That's what really just drives me nuts. I don't understand. They're holding you hostage. They're blackmailing you.
Well, I think with DoorDash and all these food apps, the drivers don't carry cash to make change, so it'll be really confusing for dashes to make change.
You don't make change on a tip. Well, I guess you could make change.
But the whole thing is that a lot of
people
are not carrying cash because people are getting robbed and mugged along the way. And look, I work for hospitality.
Keep it in your sock like Joe does. You.
Under
the floorboard, under the bed.
the lead protects the paper.
In the backyard. Under the cherry tree.
Look, I work for the hospitality business, for a long time, and I understand the struggling of people working in restaurants and stuff like that. I've seen it firsthand, and no matter where I go out to a restaurant, I always give $20, $30 tips, depending on the service. Some service is better than others, but I make sure even if it's bad, I still give a decent tip to a point where it's like, sure, you gotta, that's just the person I am.
For servers, I always understood, because servers normally make less than minimum wage. They make their money off their tips. So I always start at 20 and then move up from there, because I understand that's the way they make their nut. But
is that still the case with servers? Are they still making?
Some states have changed that and done away with that and pushed them up to minimum wage.
Right.
But then there's also restaurants now, more or less on the left coast, that have removed tipping. They don't want you to tip.
Yeah. Right. So I guess if they want to make tipping mandatory, like if tipping is going to be mandatory, then just add the tip, and whatever tip you want it to be, 25, 30%, whatever you think, take that and put it into the cost of the food to begin with. And then just, of course, then we'll bitch that the food is too expensive. I get it. But that way, no tip, no worries, because you've already tipped them in the cost of the product.
The problem there is some restaurants are already putting the tip in the price of in your cost, not in the cost of the food, but like
that should be shown on the receipt, though.
On the receipt, here's the tip you're giving. Mm-hmm. And that,
and they do that with large groups normally. Large groups go into a restaurant, they normally automatically.
I've had it with just the four of us. I mean, I ain't giving you $20.
If you go 4 people, how much do you give a server with 4 people at the table?
It depends on how much the bill is.
Styx goes into a restaurant, takes his shoes off, and puts feet on the table. You need to tip pretty big for that.
I mean, my biggest tipping is at a bar. I always tip the most at a bar, because you juice your bartender, you end up getting some free drinks out of it.
What the hell? You Sharon Stone? What the hell?
Styx is going to be very sore tomorrow. So Styx is not going to be able to walk tomorrow.
Talk about a moose knuckle. Jeez, Styx. Put that away.
Instead of a beaver, you saw a damn penguin. Get out of here, man.
But I mean, some of the places I'm not necessarily against it if it's optional and you want to give a tip at a Jimmy John's because you're getting a sandwich, so be it. But I was at Jersey Mike's. They ask me all the time if you pay with credit card, if you're going to give a tip. I was like, your sandwich is already $13. They
got to make back that money they paid Danny DeVito to make all those videos.
look, I'll be honest.
But I still end up tipping. But I do. But you do feel guilted into it.
Since I've been in the
Sometimes.
industry for a very long time, I've done waiter work. I worked, for catering halls. I've worked with a bouncer. I've seen and worked, security in hotels, and I've seen.
I can see
and I know certain demographic of people that are the cheapest son of a bitches in the world.
Oh, jeez.
That's
Stop.
what I
Stop.
All right.
Stop.
I will juice everything with cash. I like tipping in cash. Even when I pay, if I'm in a restaurant and I'm paying for my meal, I always will pay with a credit card, but I give a tip in cash. I always give a tip in cash.
Oh,
All right, that was fun.
It is death meat, Brooklyn. It is. It's
I mean-
pretty awful shit.
I said at the beginning, if you didn't learn it from X-Men, tipping is not a city in China.
I didn't learn that. Okay.
It was right there in X-Men.
So that was fun. It was an interesting discussion because it is becoming far and far more prevalent in terms of, and this I don't think this is about so much is tipping a good or bad thing. I think it's the idea is proactive tipping necessarily a good thing.
When the tipping occurs.
Yeah. Getting tipping prior to your service being rendered, because you don't know how your service is going to be rendered in some cases. So it's interesting.
Yeah, pay up front, tip after.
Moving on. That's not a comic sale of the week. Jedi,
That's
what you got
not
for
a
us this
comic. All right. Well, the beast is barking outside, so bear with me here. Somebody is attacking the castle. So yeah, for this week's sale of the week, I did some Googles. Actually, I started off trying to maybe find like some Pez, just like Pez dispensers, because I thought that would be cool, especially if I could find some graded. I did find some Pez, nothing graded, but then I stumbled upon these, and I thought these were pretty cool. So these are Pez space guns. And I was like, I don't know if I've seen these before. And of course, after I started looking, there's plenty of them out there. But a lot of them are expensive by my standards anyway. They're expensive. Some of them are still listed out there that are maybe a couple $100 above this. But so these are 1950s Pez guns, the highest one being the blue one, which recently sold for $885. These are not graded. These are just Pez guns. So, Styx, do you remember having these back in the 50s? Do you remember having one of these things?
We used to run around and be Flash Gordon with these guns, yeah.
Pez.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Or Buck Rogers.
So Styx knows.
When
So,
Styx
but
is
I
so
thought
old,
these were cool
their candy
too
was
because
all filled with cocaine and laudanum.
it was filled with bootleg booze. That's how they got the booze from.
100% moonshine.
Yeah, but I thought these were cool because obviously you can see the prices for yourself. These are all bids, from 800 all the way down to 500 with the red one and everything kind of in between. But I thought these were fun too because I swear to God, I don't go to a lot of yard sales and garage sales, but this is the kind of thing that if I didn't know what this was, I would see this in a box of junk and think it was a squirt gun or something and just push it right to the side. Whereas, damn, these things are worth, like the blue one, almost $1,000.
Yeah, and it has
cool.
just, I don't know if you all could see in the picture on the side of the handle, there is embossed the word Pez. So
I was just gonna say,
if you're at a yard sale, that's what you see something like this. It will say Pez on the side. I don't know. Does anyone know? Do these actually shoot the Pez out, or does it just dispense
the question I had. That's the question I had too. Is do these things actually launch these things at you? Because that's a
dangerous.
But that was toys back then, right? We're not talking about toys from like 2000s where everything's got to be bubble wrapped and shit.
These aren't safety things.
I mean, we're talking about back in the days of lawn darts and things like this.
People
these things
choking up Pez. Yeah, open your mouth.
Possibility it might kill you.
If you don't accidentally get stuck in a refrigerator, you can get shot in the eye with Pez.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Tommy, you put your
Add this to the
brother's
list of
eye
things
on
that could kill you before the 2000s.
These are cool.
Yeah.
I'd never
Cool.
seen
These
these
are cool.
before. Now I'm gonna have to try to research to figure out whether these things actually shoot. Because if they shoot, that's pretty cool.
When you look these up, did you see if they had like repop one, like, or have they only been in the 1950s? Did they
So
ever?
all the ones I found with the search engine I was using said 1950s, and it would take me to, obviously then I could click on the link and it would take me to the eBay
That would
sale.
make sense.
Uh-huh.
Terry.
It didn't say anything about repops or reproductions. It also didn't. None of them got
Thank you, Andre.
very specific as to the exact year. They all said like 1950s
50s.
or
Mm.
So I mean, these things could have been the same model that were produced throughout X number
Just
of
different
years.
colors.
It didn't really change. Yeah.
How big are they?
Can't be more than a Derringer, I would think.
Shorthand?
Yeah, I'm guessing they're small.
They gotta be small. But that's actually pretty.
It's got a little rusty spring in it. So now when it shoots this,
Yes, you need a tetanus shot with your Pez.
you get tetanus from it.
Who wants lockjaw?
No, who wants freaking guy?
Why is Billy foaming at the mouth?
You get trench mouth. What is it when you have the kids eating picking the toys up on the floor and putting them in their mouth? You're gonna get what is it called? Was that trench mouth? What is that? Back in the day,
Thrush?
There's trench foot, I think. I don't know.
What is it back in the day when your mom used to say? You're gonna get.
Maybe there was trench mouth. Wasn't there a Saturday morning cartoon that talked about trench mouth?
Hooper mouth? Hooper mouth?
I don't know, but I want to watch it now if there is.
What's the cow disease?
Call me
Hooper
trench
mouth?
mouth or something. I don't know. Something crazy.
Oh, well, that's a good one. That was a good one this week, Jedi. I like those.
Cool.
I need to find out how they work now. You've sent me on a mission now. I have to.
To the internet.
Because if they shoot Pez out, I am gonna be on the lookout.
You're gonna spend $800 on
Listen,
one.
what you're gonna have to
I'm
do
not spending
is-
$800 on one, but I will be on the lookout for them.
Oh, the
if you
cheapest
can
one was
find something
$5.
Similar. Find something similar. You could have the Pez shooting the Pez in the mouth challenge, like you do with the jelly beans.
Who's going to need medical support from choking on a Pez first?
How did you lose your tonsils? I was shot in the mouth with a pen.
Yeah.
Hey, why is Joe wearing an eye patch?
My teeth aren't strong enough at my age to be able to handle getting chucked in the teeth with it.
Well,
What do we call that segment? 911 is standing by?
Yeah.
911
God.
is standing by.
Those are pretty cool. Yeah, the
We'll have
blue
to
one
get,
cost that much.
We'll have to get some AI William Shatner to voice
Who
over
buys
the,
these things,
Rescue
man?
911.
Pez
There are
collectors.
Pez
collectors, I
out
guess.
there.
Yeah, Pez
Someone
collectors.
named Jedi on an island. You know, he said frigate.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to find one now. I like it. Good job, Jedi. I like it. That was a good one. It was. I always like seeing something and I'm like, oh, God, I never knew that existed.
Yeah.
That is pretty awesome. Styx, you want to do your trivia, buddy?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do that. Let me get out of the full screen here.
As we are doing a
Keep your eye out.
Zatanna character spotlight tonight, we figured we'd do a little Zatanna trivia. Take it away, Styx.
Yep, I'm waiting for my rabbit to catch up here. Come on. A little farther, a little faster. There you go. All right, so we get a little qualified edition of Trivia Night tonight.
Styx needed 3 more people on the treadmill, too.
Over here. There we go.
I hear Styx'
Little,
modem
we got a
singing.
little. Yeah, can you hear that? So we had a couple questions of Zatanna tonight. I didn't know too much about Zatanna beforehand, so this was all new to me. Might be new to you. So let's get going here. All right, question number 1. Let's see if it catches up there on my screen. Zatanna is the daughter of an early eras or golden age, 1930s, 40s DC superhero. What was his name? Was it A, Sargon the Sorcerer, B, Giovanna Zatara, C, the Phantom Stranger, or D, Dr. Occult?
Shit, wait. The Phantom Stranger is actually the thing when you sit in your left hand and you come around.
What? Stop. What?
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 Have you been spending your weekends in Riker? What's going on over there?
Shame on me for understanding what he was talking about.
You know what you and Dom do when you spare time with your arm. It's your business.
He's not supposed to talk about it.
Do you put lipstick on your fingers too?
Ugh.
Depends on just depends on the mood.
What do you got,
I'm gonna
Jedi?
say B, just based on the fact that the last name is Zatara. I'm gonna say B.
Yes.
Other than that, I have no clue.
It's B.
No, D. No.
It is B, gentlemen. Our friends in the chat were all correct.
I didn't get to see the hint. Was there a hint?
No, I forgot to block those out.
Nice.
All right. Question
call
number
it
2. Zatanna shares a style of casting magic with her father. What is it? Is it using her magic wand, speaking backwards, calling upon dead mystics for assistance, or singing spells?
B.
I'm not answering any of these because I know the question.
Yeah, you know.
Lucifer knows it all.
What? I won't answer either. God
I
damn.
don't know what Flurry is.
I will say this is harder than Lopez's Jeopardy though.
Well,
Are you kidding? Lopez's Jeopardy was the hardest thing I've ever seen.
If you deprive your brain of oxygen for about 3 to 4 minutes and then do that, it's a lot easier.
I will say poor Lopez makes his Jeopardy harder on himself.
Yes, it
I was
does.
utterly confused.
I do love Jeopardy though. It's a fun segment.
Yeah.
I'll say, isn't there another DC character that does things by saying backwards, or maybe you get rid of him by making him say his name? I don't know. I don't know DC.
That's
I'm going to say
Mistleplex.
Mr.
Mistleplex. Yeah, Mistleplex.
Yeah.
Saying his
Yeah,
name
you got to
backwards.
trick him into saying his name backwards.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I'm going to say B because there's not that much originality in DC, so I'm assuming.
Oh.
yeah.
Just
Well,
kidding.
What?
wow.
Just a joke.
You
All
would
right.
be correct.
Oh,
You know, the 235 spider variants. I'm just saying.
Well, doesn't Yoda speak backwards?
No.
What?
Doesn't speak backwards. He
speaks
just
backwards.
speaks out of line. Not turn.
Yoda just leaves out
Frank Oz.
adverbs and adjectives.
All right. Question 3. Zatanna had a unique introduction created in 1964. She appeared in several stories in various DC titles, edited by Julius Schwartz, in an ongoing storyline that spans 3 years. She is searching for her missing father. Who does she first team up with? Is it Hawkman and Hawkgirl, Green Lantern,
Elongated man.
Atom, or Elongated Man?
If I was her, I'd probably go with elongated man.
That is the worst kind of question
for
I've
Rikers.
ever. You guys remember back in grade school they had you read a paragraph and then they'll ask you questions based on that paragraph.
And you
That's
forget
what
the
I felt.
paragraph by the time you get there.
That's what I felt like I just went through here. I don't understand.
Billy has 5 apples. He gives Susie 3.
It's A. It's definitely A.
I
How many
can't
were
remember what
green?
the question is.
And you all are correct.
Except Terry, he said Harvey Birdman.
Well, we
I'll
understand.
say Green Lantern.
You looked close enough.
Yeah, he's pretty close there.
Well, remember, a lot of the Silver Age books didn't just have like one story; they had multiple storylines through. Right. So there were smaller stories, and then a lot of times it would cross.
Kind of an anthology type stuff. Yeah. All right, number 4 question. What job did Zatanna have prior to discovering her powers? A job she continues to maintain. Stage illusionist, a reporter, sports car mechanic, or a caterer?
Sports car mechanic.
I'm a car mechanic. That'd be actually kind of hot. You know, like just getting her hands all lubed up.
All right. If she is, I'm not saying she is, but if she is a reporter, then Brucifer, you have to admit there's no originality in any of it. I'm going to say, just because I don't want Brucifer to have to say that, I'm going to say she's a stage illusionist.
Yes.
What's up, Ed?
Good to see you.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
What is it? What is he?
And the answer is stage
Oh,
illusionist.
thank God.
Yeah,
Just like your dad.
Kind of right on the nose with that one, yeah.
Yeah.
And our fifth question, in 1978, Zatanna was extended membership into which DC superhero team?
Really?
The All-Star Squadron, the Doom Patrol,
These questions aren't for you, Brucifer. They're for dummies like me.
Suicide Squad, or the Justice League of America? Hey, you might be wrong, Brucifer.
Is it D?
Zatanna was a membership of which DC team? I don't see the Super Friends on here, so I really don't know what I'm talking about.
Nope. No. She was passed for Zatanna. So.
I'm going to say Doom Patrol.
D.
And I know Joe already knows. So what do we got for the
Right.
chat here?
That's easy. Thanks a lot, Bri.
All right. Everyone seems to be saying D. What do we think, guys? Is that right?
If it's Doom Patrol, I'm going to laugh so hard.
Definitely is.
Damn it.
Remember Justice League? Doc.
My research said
Squadron.
All-Star Squadron.
Oh damn, son! You threw us for a loop. I don't like this game anymore. You're worse than Lopez.
There you go.
I have some fun covers to show you coming up next.
There we go.
Thank you, guys. Hope you had fun.
Thank you very much, Styx. It's always good to have a little trivia.
Your parting gifts are
Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat, and a case of turtle wax.
a lifetime supply of razors.
Hamburger helper.
I agree, Cosmic. I hope they eventually lead to a Justice League Dark movie or series. I'll take either. I'll take any of it. I'm going to acknowledge BK because he had a perfect score.
It's good when you look at.
He's having a great 2024.
You look at Google it.
So let's get into some Zatanna. So as we read earlier, Zatanna first showed up in Hawkman 4. So you got her.
Bruce.
She's
Bruce,
right
show
there,
What?
right there on the splash page. I know. I could dig mine out. I got a couple copies. The thing about Zatanna covers, there's not a ton of Silver Age Zatanna covers. Even in books she appears in, there's not a ton of Zatanna Silver Age. There's a good amount of Bronze Age covers. There's plenty of modern covers, but there's not a ton of Silver Age. So the evolution as we walk through here, I'm going to walk through the appearances of Zatanna. So she first shows up in Hawkman 4. She gets that great splash page there, which is fantastic. Again, nice little introduction to her. She then appears in the Atom 19 and then in Green Lantern. There is a weird issue of Detective Comics where there's a witch in here. There's no Zatanna per se. She's not named in this issue. But later in Justice League 51, she makes reference to her disguising herself as that witch. So that Detective 350, I think it's 335, is actually retconned to be Zatanna, even though she doesn't appear in this 4 minute. So that's kind of a weird kind of book that sits out there. Again, she appeared in that Detective and Batman. That one right there. her best, in my opinion, her best Silver Age cover is this Justice League 51. It is probably the best. And she is there with Elongated Man and Batman.
Yeah.
But this, to me, is her best Silver Age cover. The first major story you get with a true Zatanna story is in Flash 198, where she's not just necessarily appearing as kind of a little pop-up character here and there. So she has a good first full story in Flash. Because remember, a lot of the Silver Age books, there's multiple storylines in there. So you get a full Zatanna story in there in Flash. So it's something to look for, because sometimes a lot of these Flash Silver Age are pretty reasonable at times. And sometimes people look at this and they're like, oh, it's just a Flash cover kneeling. And they don't necessarily realize it's really her first full story in the book. So keep an eye out. My favorite book is the DC Superstars of Magic. That is one of my favorite Zatanna covers of all time. Once you start getting into the 70s and 80s, you start, I don't know what they were into in the 70s and 80s. Maybe it's the Quaaludes. I don't know what it is. But for some reason, Zatanna changed more outfits in the 70s and 80s than any other character I could think of in terms of her looks.
All those opium dens.
She starts out with the
Looks
basic.
like she hit puberty too.
Yeah, she starts out with the basic, and I love, like I said, I all the books we just looked at, I have and love, because I am a pretty avid Zatanna collector. But the DC Superstars of Magic is a great book. It's a book that's hard to find in high grade, because it's a book that was just beat to living shit over the years, because it wasn't overly collectible, just like a lot of those House of Mysteries and stuff like that. They were good stories. People read them, and then they just showed up in boxes and got beat up. They weren't necessarily protected. So It's a good book if you find it in high grade to be able to pick up a copy. I would recommend it. She has her first team up with Supergirl and Supergirl 7. They're fighting over that Sinister Snowman. You get a Superman team up of Zatanna. As you can tell, her outfit has changed. For some reason, they wanted to go with full silver spandex and the cape. So she
boob window.
She starts. Yeah, you need a boob window. You need to see the cleavage. So they started changing her up around that time, and then you started getting all kinds of interesting.
Yeah, I think we need to zoom in a little bit so Dom can get a good look at their crotch.
Yeah, just to see if it's raised or not, to see if there's any possible moose knuckle going on there.
You might have a full bush down there. That's what.
Oh, jeez.
So she does appear. She does appear in some Teen Titans. She's right there to the screen right of Batman. And then you start to get her in a lot of Justice League. You get the weird blue for a while too. Blue with the cape and the boob window as well. Her face gets a little weird. The 70s weren't so overly kind to Zatanna in the late 70s.
Yeah, she looked like Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And I think that could have possibly been the angle they were trying to play with that as well.
She's even wearing Shang-Chi's rings of whatever.
But as you can see, this is when they were voting her into the Justice League, as you could see the hat with all the little where everyone was writing their vote for who should be in the Justice League, and they all say Zatanna, but she was giving them the what for. Again, through the 80s, you got a lot of decent Justice League covers with her. You did have a Zatanna special in I think that was early 80s. Which is a good cover, and they started to bring her back a little more to her older form. Shows up in some World's Finest. Like I said, she wasn't used as a main character or having really her own title for quite a while. She was used in Justice League, and she was used in major titles, and she was used as a character a lot, but not necessarily on her own. Again, you got her in the Justice League. She makes a Blue Devil appearance, which is nice. You get her showing up in some 1980s Hawkman, reprising her old outfit like she did in Hawkman 4, which is fun. Like I said, she did a lot of Justice League of America stuff. And then she gets her first series, which is a mini, the Come Together series, where she's rocking some type of like Pat Benatar outfit and haircut.
It's like a Logan's Run.
Yeah.
Outfit.
This is very 80s. This is very 80s Zatanna. Thank God she doesn't rock that outfit for very long.
Is that a McFarlane cover? Is one of them McFarlane cover?
I don't think so. One of the original Zatanna ones.
Yeah, these ones right here. The third one. Is that a?
I don't
for some reason
think
I'm
it
thinking
was.
McFarlane. I don't think so. Maybe not. Maybe that's too early yet.
And then you got Good Secret Origins, where you get her and her father together. So you get the origin of Zatanna. Like I said, you get a lot of these fun little crossovers of Zatanna. She showed up in a nice issue of the Spectre, if you're a Spectre fan. And then she actually gets a nice little series, the Ryan Sook, Grant Morrison little run, the Seven Soldiers run of Zatanna, which are cool covers. Which I don't know. People sleep on these a lot. They're good covers to have, and it's a good read. Grant Morrison's always solid. It always just seems to be forgotten about because people just think about the later run. You can't go wrong with your Hughes Catwoman covers that have Zatanna on them. The Hughes Catwoman run is quite famous, but don't forget that there are some great Zatanna covers in there as well. So you can get your early Hughes Zatanna fix with some of the Catwoman covers that exist with some quite nice Zatanna. These are some of my favorites.
Nice.
And then you get into this. This run is the one that everybody loves the most because this one contains the Hughes covers. But what people also forget is the initial covers, the B covers, were Brian Bolland covers. The Brian Bolland covers all go for a good amount of money. They're all fantastic covers. The Stephanie Rue covers, which are the A covers for these as well, are good. They don't go for much, but if you see any of this Zatanna series and the Brian Bolland covers and you find them cheap, pick them up because they all go for a nice pretty penny, and they always seem to hold value. So through the first early part of the run, you got B covers that were all Brian Bolland. I think the Bs were 1 in 10s. I love, I know people make fun of this cover for some dumb reason, but I love the Zatanna flipping the cards cover. It's one of my favorites. But I'm also a Brian Bolland fan because I'm also an Animal Man fan, and his covers and stuff are great. I just love his stuff. And then, of course, toward the end of the run, you got your more famous Zatanna covers that are in there as well. So these are the ones that people seem to recognize the most, are the Hughes covers for Zatanna.
Especially that 16.
Yeah. 16 and 15. 15 is becoming almost on par with 16 at this point in terms of recognizable. Probably from those dumb foils that came out at the NYCC Con with the reprint foils of Zatanna 15. But I don't know. I think Zatanna 11 is one of the better covers as well. And it doesn't get as much love as 15 or 16 because 15 or 16 are at the end of the run. But all good covers nonetheless. Hughes does a damn fine Zatanna. Of course, there's also Zatanna being in Justice League Dark. Also fantastic series. Both volumes are fun reads and good reads, and some have a lot of great covers. I love, this was, I believe, the last issue in the run of the Justice League Dark there, where you had the Beetlejuice homage, which I thought was great, sitting on the Hall of Justice. Because, I mean, you get Constantine, you get Deadman, and you get Zatanna all on the cover doing a Beetlejuice homage. I don't think it gets much better than that. Got a cool steampunk homage. And you got the first issue there. There's a second print of Justice League Dark 1 as well. It's red tinted instead of the green at the top. But still a dirt cheap book to pick up. It's the whole run. The whole run is fun. If you're into decent stories and like kind of some of the darker, more occult stuff, it's gonna get you halfway in between DC and what Vertigo was. So just kind of slap this somewhere in between in terms of story. You had the later Justice League Dark run as well, the volume 2, where it had some pretty nice covers. Got nice Josh Middleton there. And they just ran pretty much A's and B's through that second series. There wasn't a lot of ratios or anything that crazy that ran through that. But the the volume 2 was good. It was had Wonder Woman through the whole storyline as well, so it was fun. You get Swamp Thing. Everyone loves Swamp Thing. You got Zatanna. It's good stuff. It's good art. It's good story. It's a fun read. Tinian did a lot of it as well. So if you're a Tinian fan, it's quality writing. I mean, this is what he was writing before he moved over to Batman. And then just some off covers. The DC Bombshells, which is one of my favorite series of covers, the Bombshells and Bombshells United. There's some good Zatanna covers in there as well. Got a nice Alex Ross JLA cover. And as always, there's always some fun Harley cover somewhere with another female character. So having her and Zatanna together is always fun. Most recently, we got the Night Terror series. So you got some good Cal Young there. There's nice Dachuma Hill in the middle. Was a pretty hot cover for a while. So if you're a Zatanna fan, there's some recent stuff that came out that was still pretty nice and still pretty accessible on the market. And also relatively recently, there's a DC or WBY cover, which was nice. It was a little bit of a sleeper of a Zatanna cover. So it's a good one to pick up if you're a Zatanna collector. Got a Josh Middleton there. That was a Batman versus Robin book. It was just a cardstock B cover.
Yep. And
I love the Truth and Justice cover. That's a great cover. That's the Zatanna I love. And more recently, started to get some reprints of Zatanna 15 and 16 with some different covers. That were exclusives. There's a Lobos. There's a couple Ariel Diaz that are out there, which are some nice covers. I like them. And she isn't limited to just comics. If you go back in time and remember your Smallville, you will remember the woman who is now on Reacher played Zatanna in Smallville in live action. You also had Batman the Animated Series, so you got your Bruce Timm Zatanna, and then you have modern DC animation. You have her in a lot of the storylines as well. I always love the Bruce Timm.
Yep, exactly.
Zatanna.
The Batman Adventures.
Yeah, the Batman Animated Adventures. It's just a great show, great series. Who did the middle? Which middle one? Bri asked who did the middle one in this one or the one before.
He was talking about I think he was talking about that cartoon capture. I could be
The
wrong.
animation. The Bruce Timm.
The animation, yeah.
That's Bruce Timm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure which animated series this one is from, but
he said last panel, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's talking about this
Young
one.
Justice.
I'm pretty sure.
Young Justice.
Yeah, for the comics, the last page was the first one was Lobos, and the second two were Ariel Diaz.
I can't believe the chick. What's her name? And she's a Reacher now.
Oh, he said no. The last one. This one.
Yep, that's Lobos is the first one, and Ariel Diaz is second and third. We also got plenty of Zatanna merch. Everyone loves merch.
Look at that.
From Funko Pops.
Did you get the Funko Pop?
I tried to please everybody with this. You can get the Batman the Animated Series action figure, which is, in my opinion, the best Zatanna action figure that they have. It comes with a great little magic book, magic wand. It's
Hey, Joe, did you get the Funko Pop? That's what I'm asking the question.
No, I did not get the Funko Pop.
All right, we have to buy it. We all have to buy it for you. I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah.
Start collecting Funkos.
I still have a wall of Funkos from my kids that I need to sell. But I mean, it is a cute Funko.
Wait till McFarlane does a Zatanna figure.
I mean, he might have already, but I didn't see one out there. A lot of the action figures have really hideous molds. I mean, I've seen some really ugly molds on some of the action figures, except for the Batman the Animated Series, the Bruce Timm one, because that one is decent. The Justice League Dark one isn't half bad as a mold, but a lot of the other ones are pretty rough. Well, let's just say they're not doing her any justice in terms of some of the molds. But if you want your sexy Zatannas, that's why you go to and pay a shit ton of money for statues.
Yes.
Either Sideshow or Prime One. They have some nice Zatanna statues. They come together really nice. I believe the one on the right, I can't remember whether that's Sideshow or whether it's Prime One, but the packaging that comes in is really cool as well. And they're nice. Those are far nicer and look a lot sexier than the action figures. So we'll give you that. But I'm not putting statues in my house because I barely have room for my comics.
Statues are nice. You can look at them.
I like them. I like them. If I was to get a statue, it would be a Zatanna statue. I just have no place to put it. And finally, there are also, the DC trading cards that are out there as well. So you can get any type of Zatanna you want in those trading cards, from the bombshells to the little bombshells to some more Joan Jett Zatanna if you want it. It runs the gambit there. So they got a bunch of cards for both. I guess they have them like trading cards, but they also have, I guess there have been games, card-based games that they've had her as a character in as well. So all those exist out there. So there's a little something for whatever Zatanna itch you may happen to have.
They also had her in a set with like these postcard size ones too.
Oh, nice.
I have one of those.
Yeah, and if you want to get filthy about it, you can always find the not DC sanctioned covers of Zatanna from things like Power Hour and stuff like that, or
Heroes Lounge,
Mad Love, and some of those are far more risque. Mad Love actually has some beautiful stuff.
Why don't you show it?
Yeah, I can't do that.
You're whack, man. You're whack.
our censors won't allow it. Sorry.
But truthfully, I don't really collect too much of the off-brand stuff.
Listen, if it was S&S, they would have that shit put up there. Come on.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, actually, I don't have, although I do have stuff from Mad Love, I don't really have too much Zatanna stuff from there because I'm still picking through because there weren't major titles with her, picking through the stuff to fill a run of her appearances is not necessarily easy. It's not very easy. I mean, even if you go to something like Grand Comic Database and try to get list of appearances and stuff like that, there's huge holes in what they give you. So trying to put together actual official run of her appearances is not the easiest thing ever. There are, as Mike says here, there are a lot of great trades that are also worth a good bit of money, with some Bolin covers and stuff like that as well. And there's also some of the kind of young adult, early teen type graphic novels as well. So she runs the gambit of appeal, because they can use her as appealing to, younger girls with some of the DC Girls stuff that they do, but they also can appeal to us dirty bastards with Sexy Zatanna.
No. You're the dirty bastard, not us.
I'm sorry. I'm the dirty bastard.
Clean cut guys.
I'll accept my dirty bastard badge of honor.
I tell you what, Scotty Young, he's starting to do some DC characters. I can see his errata cover by Scotty Young down the road, like an incentive, like you have to get one like 1 in 50, like a 1 in 100 type of thing down the road. If he does
DC Harley does 1 in 100s. It's very rare.
Well, like 1 in 50, right? 1 in 50s.
Yeah,
they do more of that. Okay.
Yeah, as Terry said, there are a lot of weird off brands that sometimes are very good, and they're not bad at all. I will grab one postcard very quickly and see if I can grab that.
Listen, Joe's new nickname is Filthy Joe.
Well, if you're enjoying the content, please hit that like button.
Exactly.
Oh, come on. That's fast. I'm fast. I am fast. Here we go. Let me throw this up here.
Oh, that's what you said.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, there you go. That's from Mad Love.
What the hell?
That's tasteful.
Taken today.
That ain't too bad.
No, Mad Love does the clean covers that they do are good, and I do buy it from Mad Love, but I don't know. I tend to be a bit of a completionist before I tend to go out on the fringes with stuff. So I have most of my Silver Age Zatanna buttoned up. There's just 1 or 2 books that I want. The 80s stuff is kind of all over, and it's really hard just to piece together. The books aren't that expensive. It's just hard to make sure you aren't having any gaps in there.
Right.
No, but Joe, that was a good segment on Zatanna. I think I have more depth in Zatanna than I ever before in my life.
She's a good character, and if DC does lean into the dark stuff, which I'm hoping they do, they're going to do the Swamp Thing, and hopefully they lean into that. Constantine has a new series coming out, so hopefully if they lean into it and move the way of a Justice League Dark, and even if they don't go full Justice League Dark, a character like Zatanna is someone who could definitely pop up in any of those series at any time.
Now, like the Batman animated series, right? They had that interest characters. They should do more cartoons. Just you get away from Batman, start doing some other stuff.
The DC stuff that they do animation wise is fantastic.
It is.
Their animation is story wise and stuff like that. I enjoy it far more than I have enjoyed most of the DC movies, live action movies.
Yeah, the cartoons are. You got the Crisis on Infinite Earths coming. I think when's that coming out? It's coming out this.
It's out already.
Is that already?
Yep, $20 to watch it.
How many
$20? 3 parts.
$20.
$20 to watch it.
$20, okay.
That's one trip across the Tappan Z.
They do a good job of putting together good stories with their animated stuff, and they do use Zatanna a lot in the animated stuff. She appears a lot in a lot of that stuff because she's had so many ties with Batman, with Wonder Woman, with all the dark characters. So she shows up a lot. So yeah, it's good. She happens to be one of my favorite characters in the DC world. So
I hope that James Gunn can find a place for in one of his movies.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it would be right up his alley to have a character like that because she's a fun character to
If they
have.
put her, if they do a Suicide Squad, they put her in a Suicide Squad.
Well, they're gonna have his brother play her, so does it?
Yeah,
Sean Gunn is
He's
dead.
gonna play everybody.
sure his brother's wife or whatever will end up playing. So it seems to be the way it works. So
Now they're gonna have James Gunn's nanny is gonna be playing Zatanna.
yeah.
Nanny. Oh boy.
All right. For our last little segment of the night here, we got a little segment when we were young. So what we wanted to just try to talk about was things that we might have collected as a kid or in our teens that we still happen to collect. And this is kind of one of those things, gives you a little insight into the panel and some of the things that we still have an itch for.
Yep.
Who's first?
First up, Star Wars figures. Take it away.
I guess that's me, right?
No.
That's me. You listed everything, Dom. So
Because I think
Damn it, everything but collecting kitchen
yeah,
sinks.
that wasn't the homework.
everything.
Yeah. I took care of you, Dom. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, these are me. I collected Star Wars primarily. I mean, when I was a kid, for everything from figures to you name it, comic books. I didn't really collect any of it. I played with them and read them and had the albums and listened to them and stuff. But when I started getting back, about the same time I started recollecting because all my stuff from my childhood is gone. Didn't make the trip with me through life, but I started recollecting comic books and the action figures probably back in 2013. I was stationed in Rhode Island at the time, and they had obviously there was eBay, but there was also some collectible stores around the Northeast up there. Toy Vault was in a lot of the malls. Was a franchise, I guess, collectible franchise up in Rhode Island, Massachusetts area. And they had a lot of these action figures. And again, there was always eBay and things. So part of the homework was we're supposed to show part of our collection that I don't still actively collect these because I'm kind of comics right now. Plus, I kind of have all the action figures from my childhood that I wanted to recollect. But are we supposed to show these, Joe?
Yep. Let me throw you up there, bud.
Okay.
You up top. Good. Let's.
So I do have.
Which way you want
This is not from my childhood. This is just something else I keep in there, as is this. So, all right. So I have here R2 and Yoda.
Nice.
These are all in one. This is I'm not an expert
Yoda.
enough to know whether or not these are from the 77 Star Wars or A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I eventually had thought about getting some of these.
Should be stamped on the foot.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi also would have the lightsaber holster on the top of his head.
So yeah, so this one of these is the you can kind of, well, maybe you can't, but you can kind of see this one is the ejecting lightsaber version.
Oh, cool.
And it has the lightsaber in there. And a lot of these these are in good shape. A lot of these you see the paint and are peeled off.
The stickers all gone.
Stickers rather
usually,
peeled off. So
that's how mine is.
these are in pretty good shape. I thought about if I ever start grading AFA stuff that I would.
Your Yoda's in far better shape than mine.
So here's Luke with the blaster. The tip of Luke's lightsaber has broken off on this one.
It was
Which
at
is-
the
This is the one where they
case,
had the lightsabers that looked like long condoms.
It was the double double scope. It's a double scope.
It is the case that the tip of the lightsabers break off these things pretty easily.
It's called the
Which is
Brit.
why I am happy to have the
Nice.
pin with the lightsaber tip is still on there.
Nice. For your pleasure.
Obviously, I have C-3PO. I have Han.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have these things all over the place. I have several Chewbacca's.
Nice.
I have several Boba Fett's too. I don't know where they all are, but I have Boba Fett. Again, I don't know if this is Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. I have Darth Vader with the tip.
Nice.
So happy about that. And the cape. A lot of times the capes will crack because as kids, obviously, we like to fold the cape down like they did in the movies, but it's best to keep them.
Well, there's
the Bespin Leia cape. I remember always cracking.
Have a Sand Person or Tusken Raider with the staff. Oops. And I have an Avalanche. I have a Stormtrooper.
Kind of short.
I have Greedo.
Nice.
Another Boba Fett.
You getting jealous? Getting jealous of all those Fetts?
I'm jealous. You know why I'm jealous? Because of Boba Fett? Because I don't have my Boba Fett when I was a kid anymore. I used to.
Well, these aren't for my kids out yet either. So I got 2 more Chewbacca's. And these things, I kind of bought them. These things aren't terribly expensive now, but I bought them before they actually started going up. I have another Vader with the tip.
Nice. That one's a little flaccid.
Yeah.
Got a hook to it. Yeah.
And I have another Han. And I saved this one for last because these are interesting to me, and I don't know if I'll be able to get a good shot of it on the camera. But I have 2 Landos.
Nice.
And these are actually, to me, one of the more interesting figures because there are several variations of this one. And I don't remember which one I had as a kid, but you can see this one is Lando, kind of, Lando. But then there's the Lando version with his teeth showing.
It's the pre and post Colt 45.
Yeah, and I want to say there's another one too of Lando that I don't have, but I thought that was kind of interesting that there's actually a version out there with Lando with his teeth.
There is a version. With all the Star Wars figures, there are definitely a lot of variants. Boba Fett has one of the most sought after variants all over the place. Different helmet, plate, non-colored rocket.
Very nice.
Good stuff.
That's some good stuff, Jedi man. I'm upset and I'm jealous because my Star Wars figures are no longer with me. That's why I go out and try to get what I can.
I sold all mine in my 20s. I had so much stuff. I still have vehicles from my youth. I have my original Millennium Falcon in the box. It's opened. I still have the box and the Falcon, not Falcon in box, sealed. But
as far as I know, all those blasters are not repros either. As far as I know,
those blasters are hard to find. And you know what the thing is? If you have the blasters, the real blaster to the figure, it makes the figure more valuable because there's a lot of 3D renderings of the blasters.
Yeah, a lot of repros out there now.
Yeah,
they repo the blasters, they repo the capes,
lightsabers, everything.
Yeah. I will tell you that if you're unsure if the blaster is repro or not, just throw it in some water. If it floats, it's no good.
If it floats, it's no good. That's the trick. I have to remember that.
That's the trick.
Just like a witch.
Just like a witch.
Just like somebody with pressure. Right. It floats is good.
So yeah, I still collect. Like I said, I don't actively collect anymore, but I had to get those.
You're next on the list there, Dom.
All right. Give me one second. I gotta get some things. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's just the shitty it's crazy. Hold on.
Back the truck up, Louie.
I knew Dom wouldn't be able to narrow it down, so I just try to throw up there some things I know he likes.
There you go. I just got that Master of the Universe comic not too long ago.
That's one of the best anniversary covers.
Yeah.
For those Marvel anniversary covers, and it's a star. I forgot it was a star as well, not the
those ones
the
are
Marvel
star.
one print on it.
All right, I got a couple of things. Let me see here. One more second. I'm sorry. I should have been ready for this shit.
Yeah, if you read the pre-production show chat, you might.
I put flames on all the messages.
Yeah.
So they're clear.
We underline things and put it in bold and asterisk and everything for
Okay. Okay. Here we go.
Just the
Let's go.
talent. He just shows up.
Okay.
Nice.
You know, so I did collect everything. I was a spoiled child growing up.
He's
I
so
got everything I
spoiled.
wanted. I still am spoiled.
Spoiled
Spoiled adult.
Yep. My wife just said, "Yep."
Yep.
I
Tell
never
'em,
liked it
Giggles.
for a reason.
So basically, I don't have any of my stuff when I was a child, but I do have stuff that I did collect when I was a child.
You've
Maybe
reclaimed.
different things based off it. As of like Boba Fett, so I do have an 80s, an 80 graded 80,
Nice.
Hong Kong. Hong Kong, Boba Fett, graded. So I do have in case for my childhood, but not my childhood.
Nice.
They got that, and also I was a huge Hammerhead fan growing up as a child.
He was
So,
cool.
Yes, I did. My favorite Cantina creature in the Cantina. So
It was always fun to get figures that were different sized, whether it be whether it be a snaggletooth or whatever. It was fun to have
had the
characters that were different
Snaggletooth.
sized.
I had the blue Snaggletooth that came with the Cantina
Yeah.
and the Sears catalog. I had that, and that was another favorite figure of mine. And that's of course over the course of years I lost it.
Oh,
But-
I remember blue snaggletooth and yak face were always the
Yeah.
big ones when I was younger.
So basically, if you really look at perspective, when it comes to toys, Transformer wise, I was a huge. I loved all the Transformers, but Soundwave was always my favorite. I don't have any of the Soundwaves right now, but I do have this variant of Soundwave from the Golden Lagoon
Oh, that's cool.
Transformer cartoon. So I got that.
Nice golden jam box.
Yeah. And
That's interesting.
if it comes to Soundwave,
What
I
year
love-
did that come out?
what happened?
What year did that come out?
Oh, this came out a couple of years ago because it has Pulse exclusive, and
Oh, okay.
I picked it up on Haspulse because it was the 35th anniversary of so 5 years ago, because basically it's the 40th anniversary of Transformers now. So I was able to get that, and as of like Zartan and stuff like that, thank God for G.I. Joe Classifieds, because I did have the original Zartan. I got my Zartan. This is the
That was the best
That's
action
fine.
figure as a kid.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And
Just
so
the fact that it had the backpack with the little mask in it was just so damn cool.
Mm.
it was awesome. And as of Super 7, they making the 5 points for articulation the G.I. Joe figures, which is really cool. And I was a huge Cobra Commander fan too. I like Cobra Commander. So I really like the retro packaging on
Nice.
and they got the file card just like the original Joe's. Now, a very interesting thing. Remember Zartan, when Zartan had the file card that had to change because of schizophrenic? That was people were complaining. If you read the back of this file card, it says
back on there?
extreme paranoia, schizophrenic in the back. So it's actually pretty cool that that they put that on this.
That they went back to the original.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. I got that. Also, being a Hodak fan, which did everybody catch the damn trailer of He-Man Revelations? Holy shit!
Gonna get some more.
Oh,
of that.
season 2.
Can't wait. But yeah, so I got some Hodak, like the remaster, the
Nice.
2022, 21 that they dropped, Hodak and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I still live my childhood. They're coming out with the toys, and this isn't like the real thing, the original stuff that did drop. But at the end of the day, thank God for some repos that they made. But not repos.
They do an okay job on some of the repos. It's
Yeah.
nice.
It's not bad, and I do eventually I will have the figures that I had when I was a child down the road. I'll go and buy, and as with comic books, Transformer comics, Spider-Man, all the stuff that I loved growing up, everything's here now. Star Wars figures, like the newer stuff, the newer Boba Fett figures I have, and I'm very happy that there is still stuff out there that I can relive my childhood in certain ways. You know, it may not be with the original stuff, but like I said, I will get the stuff again down the road.
I will come
It's
back.
fun. It's fun to search for it.
Yeah.
It's
But
you know,
yeah, this is my stuff. I enjoyed as childhood. I'm still enjoying it now, and I'm glad they have more stuff for the liking than what it's taking now.
More stuff to take your money.
good stuff. Good
Tell
stuff.
me about it. Tell me about it.
My man Bruce. Apparently, the only thing he's ever collected is comics,
He's whack.
and he's on mute.
And mute.
Yeah, I've been collecting comic books for like forever. I have about 50 long boxes of comics.
How long?
Another 75 short boxes. I'm running out of room. You know, I've always been an avid reader. So, of course, I was a big nerd.
Is
Go
there
figure.
are there any books that you have that you've had since your youth, or did you have one of those clearing out periods like a lot of us did, where we had stuff in our youth, it got cleared out, and then we have to go play recapture?
I still have my my original run of my X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, starting
Nice.
from 150 up till the last issue.
Nice.
I do want to show off a few things from my collection.
Please.
I was going to drag a few boxes in here, but I was like, nah, it'd be too long.
Yeah. there's
But,
there's always a special feel though when you have the books that you've still had from your youth. Like New Mutants 98 is from my youth. I bought it off the stand and I still have it.
Oh, so is my ASM 300s and 98. Before that, I started, I don't know if you guys have been watching, I started doing retro gaming again. So I picked this up, the Atari 2600 Plus. It's actually HDMI. And stupid paddles. Yay, paddles.
Yeah, you need paddles. You can't play Breakout without paddles.
You can't.
Exactly. Love
I
Breakout.
still have my original. I don't need a refill.
All right. I'll show off a few books that I have in my collection. You've probably seen some of these before. I just grabbed these.
Nice.
The Ravager cover.
Natalie Sanders.
Yep.
We're talking about stuff from your childhood, not the new stuff today.
Shut up. I'm still collecting, right?
Go.
Sozo. Yeah, you're gonna take this over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Two got.
Little 8 billion genies. Glitter cat cover. I love that cover. Don't worry, I want to get there. Remember this? The Momoko?
Yeah.
Oh
years
yeah.
ago.
Jean Grey one. Yeah, that was
The one in 100. Free comic book day. I was a duck.
Was that the 1 in 100 or was that the weird 1 in 1,000 one?
Oh, that's the one in 1,000.
Okay. That's what
Yeah,
I thought it was a weird ratio.
Yeah, I got it as a 9.2 and I pressed it. Cheap Marvel paper. It's a 9.8. I was a dog hip hop variant.
I love the ODB cover.
Harley Quinn 75, the photo.
Nice.
I love this cover.
People sleep on photo covers for some reason. I don't know why, because they always seem to make a resurgence, those photo covers.
Yep.
Plus they are the perfect thing for signatures at some point.
Yes.
I always get those like Dell photo covers. I love those.
ASM 194.
Nice, first Black Cat.
Signed by
Romita?
Wolfman. Mark Wolfman. ASM 238. See, I do have Spider-Man books.
With tattoos?
Of course it has tattoos.
I need that one.
Has tattoos. Wonder Woman 204. 8.0. Star Wars #1.
Nice. Was it autographed by?
Roy Thomas.
Okay.
And probably my favorite book in my collection. One of my favorite books in my collection. Battle of the Planets, #1, a 9.6.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
that's one I would want.
G-Force.
I love Battle of the Planet.
I love Battle. I have every episode on DVD.
I love.
As do I.
Did you get the Thundercats versus G-Force?
No. And that is it. I will continue to collect to the day I die.
Yeah, it's a good thing to collect.
Just send me a key. Get in there before everybody else does.
Alrighty. Next up on the
Leeches.
list. Well, this one is me. I won't go into a lot of detail because it's boring as shit to most people. Since I was probably about 13, I collect rare and first edition books. So I like. They don't necessarily have to be first edition. I like when I could find first edition, but I like early edition stuff. I like finding signed stuff if I can get authenticated signed stuff, and I like old rare antiquarian books. So these are all actually pictures of books that I have. So I have the Washington and the American Republic from 1870, which is a fantastic book. If you ever look at an old book like that, well, number one, it has the gold gilded pages on the end, which are cool as shit. But the pictures inside are mostly etchings. So they all have this thin layer of tissue paper over them as well. So as you go to each picture, there's tissue paper over each as you go through, and some of the art in them is amazing. But I also am a big Charles Bukowski fan, so I collect some first edition. Ooh, that's you,
Oops.
Bruce. That's you.
Robert Crumb.
There you go.
Boop. Collect Bruce for two.
Yeah, so I collect. I have a bunch of Bukowski first print books. This is
Styx.
completely illustrated by Robert Crumb. So I'm a big fan of Crumb and a huge fan of Bukowski. So all this stuff is great. A little first edition Fight Club. I have a bunch of Polinick stuff. A bunch of it signed as well. I've seen him a few times and met him a couple times. So that is the thing. When I was in high school, went to high school right next to the University of Pittsburgh. So in my free time, I would wander around the university area, and I had 2 rare and antiquarian bookstores that were literally 1 block from my high school. So I spent a lot of time putting around in there, and it just once you get the bug for books, it's just like comics. It's just like looking for first editions, variants, and stuff like that. You start to you get the bug, and you get hooked on something, and you want to get it all. So
Nice.
And guess who collects repeat bottles?
You.
So I didn't pull out. Yes, I have a small but wonderful Ruger bottle.
This really isn't fair. Styx still lives in his childhood home, I think. So I don't know if that's fair.
It was actually my aunt's house that I live in now. I didn't go through and go downstairs to get all the older stuff that I got. So I grabbed the bottle. So what I usually do is when I go places or whatever, I'd always pick up a root beer bottle or whatever from wherever I went. So I would always go and get, I'd pull out, we're from wherever. So this one's from Canada. This one's from Montreal.
Oh, cool.
From when I went. And some are, kind of contemporary stuff that I've got in this case right here. So
And you did this as a child?
I started when I was a kid, yeah. And I still do it today. Every time I go somewhere, I'll find a shop or something, like a local shop that'll have like some kind of local bottlery type thing. And I'll pick these up. Some of these are like from maybe like the dollar store or something, but I'll always get them. Like I said, this one just happens to be some of the more recent ones that I've gotten over the last few years or so. And I got a couple in here. This one happens to be a Bud Light, though.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
with the
Did you get that? Did you get that at the Sabres game?
our slug, I think I did. I think that's the one time I went into the little what do you call it there? The bar that they have there at the stadium versus some stewards. These ones are going to be kind of the older ones. They're all wrapped in paper. So this one's a Hires. This is one of like a
nice
70s Hires.
Okay, nice.
You see the bottom there.
They don't make glass like that anymore if you think about it.
No, I got a bunch of old milk bottles here. Nice.
Yeah. I'll figure that out. I'll put it back in there. This one's another older one that I've got here. Unwrap it. This was an older Coke, like a
nice. I
like
love
a
the
60s.
green tint.
Yeah.
Green tint that you get off of those because of all the angles.
So that's what I would do when I was a kid. We'd go places. I'd pick up a bottle of something, and some of the stuff like this is from Canada as well.
Coca-Cola Black. I've
Oh,
never
Cola
heard of
Black.
that before.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Is it mixed with coffee?
I don't remember. Carbonated fusion beverage. I don't remember if I had. I don't remember.
I stay away from fusion beverages.
Yeah. And this one's I got this in Boston.
Boston?
From Boston.
Boston,
Nice, cheers.
Oh, that's
I got drunk and almost got into a fight in that place.
At the Bull and Bear.
Yeah, some guy kept trying to tell me how the Detroit Red Wings were great, and I got about an inch from his face, and I gave him the finger, and I was really drunk that night.
Yeah.
Drank a lot.
Don, you collect old Zima bottles, right?
Yeah.
bottles. Yo, freaking old golden wine coolers. Secrets.
Some
Bartles and
Bartles
James.
There you go.
And Bruce Willis, you just seen the commercial.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else. Well, this one's kind of the same. This is an older one too. I'll show this one. This is the last one I'll show. This is one of the older ones I got. This is a Maz.
Nice.
Question.
Damn, good condition. too.
Nobody makes root beer like
She
mine.
actually looks like a mafia mods. Don't mess with grandma.
Yeah. So, like some of the bottles I always actively look for is I want a that Ted Williams root beer that they had in Boston.
Great.
I always look for that one. And
That'd be a good one to have.
It's just a small, little side hobby, we'll call it.
It's fun. I like passion hobbies that are not necessarily for any monetary value or gain.
No.
It's just
No, I'm not going to go rich on
on your
recyclable
Coke
bottles.
Black. Coke Black isn't going to send your kids through college.
No, it's not.
Well, that
So
was
that's me.
fun. That was
It should be a
fantastic.
page.
Well,
Styx, you're being summoned
Being summoned.
in the chat.
Yeah.
where's he being summoned in the chat? Oh.
Qualified chat.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate everybody hanging out tonight as we've run most of the people away by now. If you haven't already, please sub to both Renovision and Kingdom of Nerds. Like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like the video anyway, we appreciate you guys sticking around. Hope you like what we got. Who knows what we'll have next week, but we will definitely figure something out. Don't forget to watch SNS tomorrow night on Renovision. Sunday, you can watch the Star Wars guys on Dark Side. I believe they're having a special guest on this Sunday, possibly.
Yeah.
On Monday, please watch Bruce's fantastic show on Kingdom of Nerds.
Yeah. We're going to pick all PG movies. Nothing over PG.
But you know what? I thought that was going to be difficult, Bruce. But once I really started to remember, back in the 80s, PG movies were good.
Yeah, they were.
Yep.
You'd be amazed if you go back and look at PG movies of the 1980s, what's on that list, you'll be like, oh, I never would have thought that would have been a PG movie.
Gremlins.
But
And,
yeah,
other
there's
shit.
there's tons of great stuff on there.
Yep.
So I was very happy about looking at that list of things. I was like, oh God, I don't want to pull something horrible.
No,
I
just wanna
know I
give a
should have
word
chose
of-
musicals.
A word of
Should've
advice
chose
to
musicals.
the
Damn
chat.
it.
If you got anything out of this episode of The Qualified, is that we collect everything.
Yep. We are a varied bunch of collectors. There's most of us collect comics in one way or another, but a lot of us collect a lot of other stuff as well.
Yep.
So you never know what you're going to be in for here, what you're going to get. So we appreciate you all hanging around. Don't forget Wednesday to watch Tack on Renovision. Friday at 7s. Are you sticking to Friday at 7s, or are you moving, Bruce?
For now, I'm keeping on Fridays.
Friday at 7s. Bruce has a show leading up to the Hot 10 on Renovision, the CBSI Hot 10, and then you're back to us. So you can run the circle, and we appreciate you being here. And thank you for hanging out. We appreciate you, and I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Hopefully, everybody has a 3-day weekend, because that would be nice for everybody.
Unfortunately, I am doing a double on Sunday, and I'm working Monday.
Oh,
Every day is a weekend for me.
but at least you're gonna get
Damn retired cops.
you're gonna get some at least time and a half, right, Dom? For Monday.
Yes, I'm getting Monday. I'm getting time.
And we're going to get a shit ton of IG videos. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Damn
sorry.
you.
That's it.
Our chats will be flooded with reels
Yes.
on all of those days. Which
I am
we
going to
love.
send for DC stuff. I'm going to send Jedi funny stuff. I'm going to send Joe boobies, and I'm going to send Styx old toys and stuff like that.
There you go.
Good times. Good
I'm going to
times.
send you
Makes-
videos of women with packages.
Nah.
What UPS packages?
What's in the box?
UPS
Yeah.
packages.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
It's
On
all
that
flat.
note-
It's all flat rate.
Listen,
On that note, everybody
next
have a
next week we're going to have people in civil services, hot women that work for post offices and stuff like that. So
Oh,
tune in.
Somebody put
My wife,
him back in the box, please.
on that note, have a healthy and safe weekend, everybody. Take care. Thanks for watching.